97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
Doubles and coffee, or coffee and doubles, however you want it. Good morning, you 97.5 FM. It is not a good day this morning. Trinidad and Tobago is without a substantive nor an acting police commissioner for the first time in our history, as the crime situation has been devastatingly increasing daily, even under a state of emergency. We see that the Commissioner of Police, the absence of leadership, has led to an emboldening of the bandits across Trinidad and Tobago. They are conducting their business with a sort of arrogance, a sort of don't care attitude that has never been seen before. The people of Trinidad and Tobago are under siege. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is rudderless and leaderless, and no amount of nonsense by the Prime Minister Keith Christopher Rowley nor his Minister Ethelbert Pomsite Rasta to try and tell people who have lived for years and decades, people who understand why leadership is important, people who understand in any sphere of life leadership is needed, whether in the corporate world, business, in schools, principals. Some of the best principals lead to the best schools, the teachers, the staff, the coaches, the players, the captain on a cricket team as we get ready to defend the World Cup T20. Leadership is necessary, and Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is rudderless without leadership because of the abject stupidity of the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago, Faris Al-Rawi, who was arrogantly defending his order 4, his paragraph 4, the order to change the process of the selection of the Police Service Commissioner. Just 18 days ago, he attacked Dave Passad, he attacked Kamla Passad Bissessa, he attacked Saddam Hussein, he attacked Wayne Sturge, he attacked all the lawyers who knew that he was wrong, and he has been proven to be wrong once again, drafting terrible law that has led to a crisis in Trinidad and Tobago. Every institution is now in crisis. Furthermore, it appears that Rudal Munilal, Kamla Passad Bissessa, and others who said, and Gary Griffith himself yesterday after the judgment came down, nullifying and quashing the orders of 2021 and 2009, Gary Griffith said that there was a clique of people in high office who wanted him out. Rudal Munilal on Real Media TT and the Ground Report stated categorically, and he stated it earlier on Douglas Politics, that they appeared to be a conspiracy. On Real Media TT, on 104.7 Ground Report, Munilal said that it is clear that the highest officers in the land wanted to get rid of Gary. Munilal on Real Media TT and the Ground Report stated categorically, and he stated it earlier on Douglas Politics, that they appeared to be a conspiracy. On Real Media TT, on 104.7 Ground Report, Munilal said that it is clear that the highest officers in the land wanted to get rid of Gary Griffith. Gary Griffith admitted yesterday that there was a conspiracy to get him out. Why would someone want to get Gary Griffith out? Whether you like Gary Griffith or not, whether you love Gary Griffith or not, whether you find he talk too much or not, whether you find he's run down every person on social media to argue with or not, as Kamla Passad Bissessa said yesterday in a press conference, give Jackie jacket and give Jim boots. The man worked hard, he was passionate about his job, and he was doing a good job. So whether you like him or you want to hug him up is irrelevant. He not looking for a wife, he have a wife. He not looking for family, he have family. But what was the conspiracy? Why would you want Gary Griffith out? Why would somebody want to control the police service? Why would somebody want to control the commissioner of police? Why? Why do we say? Now we see a similarity. There was a time when every single individual in the know said do not shut down Petrotrin. There were 3 reports, $64 million of taxpayers' money. You know how much hamper $64 million could buy? That said the Lashley report, the McKinley report, the Solomon report that said do not shut down Petrotrin. The Prime Minister Keith Rowley said the board under Winifred Esmide told him and instructed him to shut down Petrotrin, and sent a note to the minister Nonsense. Winfred Espinay said that Keith Rowley lied, that he and his board never ever recommended the shutdown of Petrotrin and the sending home of 5,389 permanent workers and another 6,000 odd temporary workers, and the shutdown of the fence line communities and the business and the spin-off effects. Winfred Espinay said under oath in a court that Keith Rowley lied, that he and his board never ever said shut down Petrotrin. So why was Petrotrin shut down? Why? And then we saw after Petrotrin was shut down, which would have made evidence gathering very difficult, we saw that Keith Rowley took the insane step of putting his personal attorney to chair the board of heritage, who would then control all of the evidence, all of the assets, all of the records of the former Petrotrin if any investigation was done. Why would Keith Rowley put a man who did not have any experience in energy but was his own personal lawyer and could keep secrets for him, and would not have to divulge anything that they discuss because of lawyer-client privilege? Why would Keith Rowley choose his attorney, his personal attorney, to put in charge of Heritage Petroleum? I told you all when I was on a previous radio station, Power 102.1 FM on the afternoon doing Douglas politics, I told you a certain man told Rowley, or if all you feel I going down alone, you better shut down, lock down, and broke down, because I not going down alone. So all you better sort out. I told you all that a certain man told them that. And now, 4 or 5 years later, your eyes opening up big, you're bulging. Why then would Senior Counsel Deborah Peake recommend an immediate appeal to the High Court of an arbitration with Rowley's friend? Why? And why would Rowley's personal attorney all of a sudden ignore the sage advice of a brilliant senior counsel and then come out in the middle of a state of emergency and announce to the world that this matter had been settled and the population and taxpayers should be happy? Who would want Rowley out? Video footage shared by Real Media TT is circulating around Trinidad and Tobago to remind us that Captain Gary Griffith, the former Commissioner of Police for now, was stated categorically that that investigation was ongoing, that forensic scientists and investigators and auditors were on their way international to investigate and continue that police investigation. Because the civil case had nothing to do with police. That don't stop the police. All you know what police can do. Gary was going to show them what police can do. That investigation was ongoing. Why don't know? I am just surmising. Why would people want Gary Griffith out? If Gary Griffith, this last poll of the population was that 71% of the people were happy with Gary Griffith. Why would a leadership not want to have one thing kind of happy for the people? Have the people kind of happy in one thing, because we're not happy in road, we're not happy in water, we're not happy in job, we're not happy that we can't go to the beach, we're not happy in COVID-19, we dead in, we're not happy with the borders, we're not happy with school, we're not happy with online, we're not happy with laptop, we're not happy with gate, we're not happy with the extra taxes, we're not happy with the food price, we're not happy with the agricultural budget, we're not happy in any way. So why would a government want to grab and take the one source of comfort of the people, Captain Gary Griffith as Commissioner of Police? Why would they want to get rid of him? Ask yourself that. And while you're asking yourself that, ask yourself, why would a government go to the parliament and gut procurement? Why would a government have 210 recusals in a cabinet in 5 years? Ask yourself why a government would rent their own buildings and their own family members. Why a government would put one man, Noel Garcia, in charge of spending all your money. One government. Why a government would rob and rape the principles of corporate governance like this? Ask yourself. And while you're asking yourself, I want you to also ask the 9 independent senators who were there in July 2020 when Senator Wade Mark moved a motion to negative that order, that Duncy order that was wrong in law, wrong in process, and that Justice Kangaloo has struck down and quashed. Why? When Wade Mark went to the Senate, how is it possible that all nine independent senators at that time voted with the government? How is that possible? Because we see now that a learned justice heard arguments, or a sustained period written arguments, heard arguments, and went through and analyzed and came to the conclusion that it was bad law. Then how is it possible, think about it, that 9 independent people hearing those very same arguments from the UNC opposition, led by Senator Wade Mark, and with Saddam Hussein and Obika and Anita Haynes, how did all 9 independent senators get it wrong? Doesn't that worry you? Now you understand why we are in a constitutional crisis. Because the independent institutions of Trinidad and Tobago have been interfered with, from the EBC to now the Police Service Commission to the office of the DPP, with this so-called immunity assigned by Faris Al-Rawi, the Attorney General, getting involved in criminal matters and his Prime Minister defending him. Clearly, I asked Rowley, now, did you instruct Al-Rawi to do that, to negotiate with Nelson? Was it done under cabinet approval? Was it done under prime ministerial approval? What was done? Did you do that, Keith Rowley? We already admitted that you were by President's house on August 12th. President Paula May Weeks, stop dragging the flag. Carry the merit list that was duly signed and done the proper work before the collapse of the Police Service Commission, and put it before the Parliament so Trinidad and Tobago can get a Commissioner of Police, so we can have a Commissioner of Police, because there are even some police who are celebrating that Gary Griffith is not there. There are some police we know, all of a sudden kidnapping increase, human trafficking increase. There are bad police who didn't want Gary there, and now crime is spiraling out of control, unchecked, without leadership. The bad police celebrating, the men who ready to run rampant because Gary gone, the captain gone. Who would do that to the citizens? I cry shame, shame on you, Keith Rowley. You keep digging deeper into the abyss of desperation, day and day, taking our country into darkness. And we will not eat meat during the Diwali season. We will not advertise a curry with chicken as the Hindu community celebrates their most sacred part of the year. We will respect our Hindu brothers and sisters. We will pray with them, love with them, hold them and uplift them to try and get a light, one little light, to shine through the darkness that is Rowley and the PNM. And to our former Minister of Culture and a Minister of Education, if you think that that is an apology, you are disgusting, you are thoughtless, you are heartless, and you have no contrition in your heart. What a disgrace in a multicultural society that somebody would advertise a curry on Diwali with meat. That is PNM. All I could say, as Corky say, good morning, neighbor. Bless.
Yeah. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Please tell me what's going on. What's happening? Please tell me what's happening. Something gone wrong, like everything upside down, Lord. Right now, good bad is like this whole place gone mad. Every day is a hustle and a bustle. Everybody right now caught in the jostle. Stays in the race, trying to keep up the pace. But space round crime, everybody is jamming for a better life, a better way of living. In the meantime, simple things we forgetting, like how to say good morning, morning, neighbor. Morning, neighbor. Morning, neighbor. place. I put a smile on people's face. Take time when you start your day, when you're heading on your way, with full respect in order. Full respect in order. Take some time when you start your day, when you're heading on your way, with full respect in order. Just say to one another, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, good morning, neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, morning. True balance in humanity, they start right in the community with love between you and me. Say morning to all my family. True balance in humanity, they start right in the community with love between you and me. Good morning to all my family. Morning to all the ones I meet along the street. I just love to love and greet. Greeting my people with that smile. Good morning neighbor, you feeling fine? Hope all is well today. Simple things we forget to say. Cause the love truly gone away. No way today, not today. Morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, good morning, 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 good morning, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, good morning, morning neighbor, morning neighbor, good morning, morning one love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Hear the children crying. One love. Hear the children crying. One heart. Saying, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Saying, let's get together and feel alright. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let them all pass all their dirty remarks. There is one question I'd really love to ask. Is there a place for the hopeless sinners who has hurt all mankind? Just to save his own belief. One love. What about a one heart? What about let's get together and feel alright? As it was in the beginning, one love. So shall it be in the end. One heart. Alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. One more thing. Let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. So when the man comes, there will be no doom. Have pity on those whose chances grow thin. There ain't no hiding place from the Father of creation. Yeah. One love. What about the one heart? What about the let's get together and feel alright? I'm fleeing to mankind.
Yes, and welcome back to Doubles and Coffee and Doubles, whichever way you want it. 97.5 FM, and at 7:10 a.m. we will be joined by Senator Lakshmi Dayal. The July 2021 Wade Mark. I may have misspoke earlier. Excitement when you're going live. July 2021, not 2020. All the independent senators, when Senator Wade Mark, the leader of UNC Business in the Senate, brought an order to negative the rubbish that Faris Al-Rawi brought to intercept and change and put influence in the process of the selection of the Commissioner of Police. All 9 independent senators voted with the government. So when you see I wonder why Senator Vera, who is on a PNM board, just started to attack me. I was not in the Senate for that because asthma, no vaccination, Brazilian variant, people dead in. I was not going inside to dead with my asthma. But when I hear that Senator Vera, independent Senator Vera, attack me, I watching TV when there was emotional privileges and say that I faking asthma, I lie about asthma. Every day, Corky, they see me walking with a pouch with all kind of asthma medicine. Corky, I just walking with that to carry on a big fast, according to independent Senator Vera. And Corky, right? Walking with my medication, spending my money, and that medication not cheap, eh? And then I had about 3 children in this world, and all 3 have asthma. But independent Senator Vera, without asking me a question, without getting my medical history, without getting a report, go on and put on Hansard that I, Anil O.E. Roberts, faking asthma, to not let the Privileges Committee make me apologize. No, but then you see, we laugh. But then the important thing is, and I apologize for my little error there with the 2020, 2021. It's 2021. So all the independent senators, so there are about 3 or 4 who were there in 2020, independent senators, 2 or 3 may, I'll double check, who are not there now. Okay? I think Sophia Choate was one who was there in 2020, who's not there now, right? The head of the Law Association. And I saw an interview that they are currently analyzing the judgment and reading and coming to a conclusion, but the Law Association must speak up and speak up strongly. I agree that all of them must discuss and the council must agree upon a position, because it's not a one-woman or a one-man show. But in a country that is politically divided, designed that way since 1956, designed to keep in politics the racial divide alive and kicking, so that politicians who cannot perform, because you must understand, if you are good, you are good, right? If people want to listen to you, Corky, they will listen to you. When I first started TV with Gael, and I was talking to Errol Fabian and them, and you know, all they had Philomena was going so great, and they had some good shows with Paul and Nikki and so on. And Errol Fabian say, well, sport, you want to build up a show. We don't have much time available. And I say, boy, well, let me go Sunday, 7:30. Errol say, but Anil, that time is a dead time historically in media, and, people doing things with their family, and that time, this was back in 2004, 2005. He said, nobody's take on media, and nobody want to watch TV and thing that time. To cut a long story short, I went on the 7:30 hour, and that became the #1 show in Trinidad and Tobago, and the #1 grossing show, or local content in history, right? So if it doesn't matter, if you have a good product, people will find you. Okay? So yes, it's easier to start off in the nice time, in the sweet time, when people done there already. It's easier, yes. It's easier to mash up the fete when everybody done had drinks in the head and crowd full. But that's why I respect artists who just go on and open the fete. For you to open a fete when people still smelling the perfume, the ladies' makeup hair settle on the face, the eyelash still standing up strong, they weave perfect, not one head out of place. It's very hard when people have finished take the picture and thing, and they're eating pigtail and drinking their first scotch and rum and soda. For you to open a fete is very difficult. But if you're good, if you put Marshall to open a fete, and women forget about the weave, the eyelash, the makeup, the picture, everything, and they run to the front of the stage and mash up the place, yes or no? Yes, because if you're good, you're good. Yeah. So if you are a good politician, if you are a good government, if you are handling the situation well, would you need to cheat? Would you need to put race into the inject race card? Would you need to put the niece of a former minister in charge to referee the game? Would you need to cheat and control and gerrymander boundaries? No.
Yeah.
Because if you went there with the right intention to serve the people will know that you're serving them. And they will keep you there. But that's why the government let their budget debate collapse. They collapse it because they have nothing to boast about except 210 recusals, except every minister and their family get richer, except that they are totally incompetent and have only come into government to give their friends and financiers thing. So they need to cheat. But in a system like what we have, Corky,
Yes.
independence is like a diamond.
A diamond.
Independent thought, independent human beings are so important to Trinidad and Tobago. It's not funny. An independent individual
Yes.
who could look at information, analyze facts, and come to an independent position is very important when a society is divided into partisan politics. But when you corrupt the independent institutions by infiltrating them with political partisan people who are of the lowest caliber, because there's nothing more corrupt than being on a side, having something in your heart and soul, and swearing on a Bible that you will be independent. There is nothing more corrupt than that. As I say good morning to former independent senator, inverted commas, Helen Drayton. As I say good morning to former independent senator, Mr. Small. As I say good morning to all independent senators who this argument fall in your lap. According to Bob Marley, if the cap fit, let them wear it. Corky, need I say more to you? I see your eye done start to look and your finger done start to move. And Bob Marley say if the cap fit, let them wear it. So whoever yard it fall in, if you are pretending to be independent like CNC3 and the News Team and the Guardian and the PNM Balize Morning Brew, then you are the most corrupt in the society, because the independent voices are more important. Anil is a UNC. I will give you facts and figures. That is why plenty PNM and independents listen and pay attention. Because I am a UNC. I am a staunch supporter of Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Not because she's an Indian, not because she's a woman, but because of her heart, her soul, and the work that she has done. She works tirelessly for people. I don't want that work. I cannot work as hard as Kamala Prasad Bisesa 20 hours a day and think. I like to do other things. Kamala Prasad Bisesa loves people, single woman, loves the poor. To put her policy, she have cabinet notes to back up her position. So all of those who try to criticize them and can't even spell cabinet note, give me a rest. Because you've done nothing. You sit down there and do a few blog. How much work you get for people? How much people you help? How much food you put in people's mouth? How much policy and law you make to help people? How much children you provided with education, with school, with laptop? How many children have you provided with gate funding and opportunities in Custard and nursing school that the PNM want to shut down? So you give Kamala a little rest, because you all have done nothing. As you all go ahead and you build up a portfolio, I will say, well done there. That was nice. That was a good job. But you are not in the league of Kamala Prasad Bisesa. This woman has been fighting for people since 1984. So all your slow, all your roll, all your just come. Just bow down, bring your ideas, and move forward. Don't try to uplift yourself when you don't have the resume. That is like an athlete now start swimming, now learning to swim, but want to go in the Olympics and race Michael Phelps. Well, you go in, cool yourself. You know it a golf ball. You feel you could be good like Tiger Woods, like Speed. You feel you could be good like Dustin Johnson. Or you cool yourself. Them men could hit a golf ball from here and land it in your coffee mug across the highway. Because they've spent the hours and they have a track record and they have games under the belt and they have rounds under the belt and they have experience and coaching hours and hours sitting and driving range. That's how they get good. Kamala Prasad Bisesa has that track record. Y'all who sit down there and don't even know the law, just talking and criticizing. Don't even understand. that whoever leads in the opposition would face the obstacles put there by the cheating, gerrymandering PNM. You will still be facing 3 daily newspapers who will attack you and shred you without information, without facts, who will lie on you. You will be facing 3 TV stations, of which the news carries to 300,000 people, and the news will be slanted against you to promote the PNM. You will be faced by 13 radio stations reading off the headlines of the PNM newspapers and talking to the young people with fellas with 1 and 2 O levels to share amongst themselves in the studio. You will battle that. So slow your roll. This darkness must cause everyone to unite. Stop the useless, senseless criticism and division. The PNM love that. That's why they can be the worst performing government in the history and still have the arrogance and cockiness of the Minister of Bundles, whose constituency made the most disgusting, disrespectful flyer and advertisement. And she comes and she does not even apologize. The constituency executive apologize. What is a constituency executive? That's a human being. Who is the MP? Who's in charge of the constituency? Who's the former Minister of Culture? In whose name and honor was the money trying to be made to support her political career by disrespecting an entire religion, Hindu religion, by advertising a curry with meat on Diwali? And then you apologize in a gaslighting way of perceived disrespect. There is nothing perceived about it. It is franco and flipping disrespectful. And that is sad that a Minister of Education who is in charge of all our children, our Christian children, our Baptist children, our Orisha children, our Hindu children, our Muslim children, our Jah Rastafari children, and our atheist children, our all children you in charge of. And you do not know, did not vet, did not care to understand that during this fasting period, this celebration of light by the Hindu community, which is so sacred, you don't even play with it, that they take sacrifice and prayers and serious manner across the board, from the eldest to the youngest take part in Diwali celebrations. And there is no meat. There is fasting, there is respect, there is love, there is light. And you come out in Trinidad and Tobago in 2021 and advertise a curry with chicken. And then your apology is, well, for some people, it disrespected some people on social media. And if there was a perceived disrespect, well, we apologize for the perceived disrespect. In the words of your Prime Minister, hold your ancient Minister of Bundles, you disrespectful woman. You arrogant woman. You're a total flop and incompetent and have arrogance on top of it. People, hungry children cannot go online, and you dressing up like a cartoon character to go in the parliament for budget. And then talking arrogantly when Saddam Hussein is asking you questions about people who cannot afford textbooks and the textbook rental. Under Kamla Prasad Bisesa and Tim Gopi Singh, $133 million annually was allocated for children to get textbooks. Since 2016, Rowley cut that with Garcia and Lovell party in the sea with electricity. Lovell Francis, the biggest dunce from the Southland. They cut the budget for textbooks by $100 million per year. 2016, 17, 18, 19. That's $400 million less of textbooks. That's $400 million multiplied by the factor of education into children that could lead to long-lasting, sustainable futures. That is in worthwhile opportunity cost of billions, billions of dollars.
Serious?
Yes, because if a child is educated, gets a job and their income that they make moves up from the paltry 3,000 minimum wage up to 10, 15, 20,000 for a period of 40 years as they work, multiply that out, that is one child. Now if that is 400 million and that impacts the lives of, let's say, 30,000 children, multiply that by 40 years by 20,000 a month, you are nearly talking $1 trillion, boss, in opportunity cost over 4 decades. That's what education is. And when children can take care of their family and buy property and invest and then go into business and so on, the multiplier effect of education is priceless. You could hardly put a number on it. This woman, but when Saddam Hussein is questioning her, this curry-cute chicken woman in Diwali is arrogantly telling him that we have e-books. Well, we tender out for e-book. So they don't have no e-book. But they stop the rental and they stop the textbook. They cut the textbook grant by 100 million. And then that was all before COVID. I say, during COVID, they cut it by more. But now, they saying they cut that. There are problems with the rental program because the books weren't coming back and some were being damaged. Well, manage the program. You cut a program that gives poor people an opportunity for education to get their children out of this vicious cycle of poverty, and you sit there with your clown costume in parliament, with your bundles going down to your high heel, and you step on it and you nearly trip and break your own neck. Bundles. You, the worst minister of education ever, and the best friend of the lady in charge of the EBC, Francis, best friend, arrogantly cannot answer Saddam Hussein question. So basically, the government is sending out a tender for some e-book thing. Now they stop the laptop program. So the irony, you could slap yourself in the face in the mirror with the irony that they stop the Kamala laptop program. There are no online, no MiFi, no Wi-Fi in bus, no nothing. They stop textbook now so children can't read the hard, cold paper. And now they say that they're going to tender out for e-book. When they tender out, people have to go and then present the e-book and so on. That is a 7-month, 8-month, 1-year process. Children need education now, so them cut the rental now. Why you didn't keep the rental going? And when your e-book and them ready, and when you get the laptops to everybody, and when you apologize to Kamala Prasad Biswas and the UNC for bad talking the laptop program, which he started in 2011, and had it continued, we would have been number 1 in the world during COVID-19. Because all our children, all our systems would have been digitized. We'd have been ready to roll. We'd have been functioning while everybody else scrambling. Our children would have been typing on their laptop, the Kamala laptop. But this chicken eater in the Diwali season, this meat eater, this sausage biter, this sausage eater lady minister bundles, who cannot apologize, but put the executive to say that some people may have been offended by a curry with chicken being advertised with Diwali on it, right? Only some people. And it was a perceived disrespect. It was Franco meant flipping disrespectful woman. And all you and Cocky feel is deliberate. I don't even know if it's deliberate. I find it just dotish. You find it deliberate, Cocky? Tell me why you feel it deliberate.
Because this is the government. They must know it's Diwali time, and so that's
good point. You mean they're just like the president. They should have so much information that it cannot be that they did not know. Yeah. Okay, you convinced me. I agree with you there, Cocky. You're right. Because and she went St. Augustine Girls High School, which meant that she had plenty Hindu friend, plenty Muslim friend, plenty people from different religions, because St. Augustine Girls is one of the best schools in history, with former Principal Mahes and so on, and all is a multicultural. It's hot like pepper. U 97.5. St. Augustine Girls are Christian, it are Catholic, it are Pentecostal, it are born again, it are Hindu, it are Muslim, it are Shouta Baptist, it have all kind of religion in St. Augustine Girls. So this girl went St. Augustine Girls with her friend Francis, who in charge of the EBC, and she's the Minister of Culture, she's a doctor, and she's the Minister of Education. I agree with you. You have convinced me.
Yes,
it had to be deliberate because she must have known.
Yes.
Either that or she's just lazy. Maybe somebody else wrote it and she didn't even know they wrote it and put it up because she was so busy by the hairdresser putting in she bundles. She didn't have time to vet. It could be laziness too. One of the two. No. Either she was lazy and did not vet it because she was so busy choosing her clown outfit and putting on her bundles and eyelash to go in the parliament that she did not vet it, and somebody from a constituency who's not as enlightened as her, who's more of the PNM base, who promotes race division and does not care or respect other cultures, wrote it for her. Yeah, what do you think? One of the two.
Yeah.
Either it was deliberate or it was that. Yeah. So it's one of the two, either deliberate or dotage through laziness. Yeah. You understand?
Yeah.
But I want to tell you, and the argument, I went sidetrack, but the whole principle of independence is very important. So if 9 independent senators in July, when Senator Wade Mark brought the motion to negativize the order that Faris Al-Rawi brought to influence the process of the selection of a police commissioner, how, and I ask this seriously, and I'm going to take calls on this, 218-7762. Seeing that a Justice Kangaloo quashed, basically threw in the dustbin, Faris Al-Rawi's order, how is it, and I'm starting with you, Corky, because you are independent, I influencing you a bit, but you're still independent, thoughtful, and you don't take, yeah?
Well, if you break it down for me, then I'll
right.
give it answer.
Okay, I am going to tell you.
I'm not too...
There's, all right, no, there's an issue, right? There's a law. The opposition UNC comes to the Senate, brought by Wade Mark, and says, listen, this law that you're bringing here is going to be trouble. It's going to be unconstitutional. In the selection of a commissioner of police, it's going to lead to bacchanal. It's going to lead to political interference. It's going to lead to the blurring of boundaries between the independent police service commission and the police and the politicians. It is not good law. So Wade Mark brings that argument, right? The government says a good law. Faris is the brightest. Never mind, he lost 30 out of 30 case, right? So you have those two sides. Now, listening to both arguments are people like yourself, right, who are independent. They don't like UNC, supposed to be, and they don't like PNM, supposed to be independent. All 9 independent members vote with the government. In other words, they say, Wade Mark, your issue that you have brought, you are wrong. Faris Al-Rawi is right. And yesterday, the judge said, Faris is wrong. Faris is dumb. Faris is dotish. The law was stupid. It was nonsense, and she struck it down.
And what was the law?
Right, the law was law was an order to choose the commissioner of police. It's a change in process. Good. But the point I'm asking you is, the 9 independents.
Right.
How is it possible that 9 out of 9, all 9, got it wrong? If they are independent, wouldn't the odds show that some get it wrong, some get it, at least if all don't get it right?
Yeah.
Now all should get it right because they should be able to read and understand English.
Right.
So really and truly, based on the judgment yesterday, it should have been the 9 independent senators should have voted with Wade Mark. They voted in the opposite direction. They voted unanimously in the government on the wrong side. It's like, okay, let me break it down for you. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Right? Al-Rawi comes to the Senate and says, 2 plus 2 equals 3. Wade Mark says, no, 2 plus 2 equals 4. And the 9 independents sitting down behind the vote with Al-Rawi that 2 plus 2 equals 3. You laugh. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Mr. Anil, a blessed day
Hello,
to you, sir.
good morning.
And to Corky good this morning.
I'm not hearing anything.
Delivery.
You hearing them? Good morning, morning. We lost that. 218-7762. 218-7762.
Try it again.
Let's try again. Hello, good morning. I hearing something.
Good morning, good morning.
Good.
This is Hina and Doubles and Coffee.
Talk to me, my brother.
Okay, Anil, listen to me carefully. I'm going and link what happened with the Police Service Commission and the A and V investigation. Listen to me. Why do you close down an organization and mash it up as we did with Petrotrin? What was that? You understand? Why are we mashing up the police service now? Because we have investigations going on. And if we have investigation going on and we want to mash up the files, we could do that. Have the police service in disarray. I listened to Gary Griffith carefully on his video recording, and he said people in high office have to account for the misdeed. And what he said, because he came from the bosom of the police service, they might not be executed. I don't want to use the term. They might get away scot-free. No, the police service have a new set of people in charge now, as the vagrants say. I want to know if they could earn the stripes. When will they go and talk to these people that Gary is pointing fingers as? We have to clean up the country now, and the police have to show they are not puppets, because he identifies somebody as blissful as we can see, who was clearly misbehaving in public office. We also have ammunition towards that, where Raja Kewal Singh indicated that somebody behaved untoward. He identified misbehavior in public office. So the police and the DPP must go. Rowley said he bring in the American judiciary system, about the AG and attorney. But he didn't tell them that in the American system, one of the things they do, they subpoena files so that it will not be destroyed. Trinidad, when we shut down Petrotrin, everybody asking where those files are, because that, I believe, was a ongoing investigation. That is what Gary tell me. There are other matters before the court. You remember the stepdaughter? You remember the Marlene? What could happen if these people ain't go to court and they can't get files, and those police in disarray don't have a timetable? That what happens with the case?
All right, my brother. Thank you. God bless. 218-7762. Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Anil.
Talk to me. Good morning,
to
neighbor.
you and to the
Corky. That's all right. Corky.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Anil. The rally curry, it was perceived, but the banana ad was real and deliberate.
Yes.
You
Imagine
understand?
that.
You see how they
I heard this
mischievous?
too, Buns on the
You
line.
see how they mischievous?
Yeah.
But you see, Anil, you see that what they did there with that? That is a distraction to take away from the 210 recusal, to take away from the luscious deals that Faris made, and all the other mischief, I will refer to it as mischief, that Faris made. And I am calling this morning on not only the President and the AG and the Prime Minister, but all the independent senators to hand in all the resignation and go. Because as you rightly said, when Wade Mark was raising that issue, nobody took them on, because it's UNC. They don't want to listen to
But
UNC.
let me ask you something.
Understand?
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Please analyze for me. Maybe I don't understand. But an independent human being is a very important human being in a politically divided partisan state. And they should be able to listen to arguments and make a decision. How could it be that 9, let's go with the theory, independent-minded, intelligent human beings read an order, listened to arguments put by both sides, and all 9 got it absolutely wrong? How is that possible?
Because I just, Anil, because I just said it, because it was UNC brought it up.
Well, then you see, then you are agreeing with me that they're not independent, and then they should all
Was an
resign.
independent person, Danisa Mahabir.
Yes.
That man was an independent person. He never let in his way. It's either he like it or he don't like it. He look at it, he read it, he understand it, and he bring forth his idea. But not those that are sitting here. And as you keep harping, I won't say harping, but bring it up all the time. Why is Vera, the independent senator, sitting on a state board?
No, I harping on it. Yes, don't get up. I'm harping on it. Why? Because that
It's
in theory is wrong. Because you are beholden and taking instruction from one side. You are interacting with one side. And therefore, the theory, the principle of apparent bias must take precedence there. A reasonable person will believe that you will be biased towards the people who appointed you, who given you remuneration, and who are giving you instructions, and you believe in their policy. So therefore, I don't see, if you want to be on that side, nothing wrong with that. But you cannot simultaneously be on one team and independent. It does not work.
No, you cannot be that. And Anil, before I leave, I want to congratulate Mrs. Prasad Bisesa. You understand? And all plain empty dustbin banging on the pavement from near and far. Let me tell all this something. Mrs. Prasad Bisesa was never Wajang. She couldn't, maybe she tried, she can't come close to it. But yesterday she had me laughing when she tried to shout. She tried to raise her voice. She sounded really jokey, You understand? But I had to laugh. I had to admire her for that. The lady not accustomed speaking loud to people. But and what she see how she put one of the reporters in the put them back in a corner. I like what it is she did. And I am calling on her this morning. Ma'am, you might not have gotten on like a Wajang yesterday, but you see that behavior that you displayed there, yes, I want to see it a little more often. You have to start putting them in their places because these people are overdoing it. And keep up the good work, Madam Opposition Leader. Anil, thanks a lot and take care.
Thank you. Have a great day. 218-7762. We taking your calls because I really want to know what is it, how 9 people who supposed to be independent could all get wrong. Hello.
Hey,
Good morning.
let me simplify it for you now.
Please.
In my days, them couldn't get past the standard. They couldn't qualify, none of them independent senators. They had no brain. They're stupid, but we know they're biased.
But that is a terrible thing, to swear on a Bible to be impartial, knowing full well that your job is so important to Trinidad and Tobago. And you just, I don't know, but...
Don't forget, Anil, what the Bible tells you, Not all who say God mean God,
Oh, Lord. Thank you, my brother.
You know that?
Well, I'm now learning it because you could go, if you want to be on a team, go on a team. If you want to be red and ready, well, you go red and ready and promote those policies of starvation, new society, and weaning. Why are you red and ready but telling me you are Switzerland, you independent? That's not true.
Well, we know that. Well, let me continue.
Yes.
I know the last Monday night virtual meeting that you were on, and I listened to you, even to conceptualize the idea of going through the alphabet and going at Rowley and pulling it off. I say that is imagination of the highest order, Anil. And now see why they're afraid you, boy. I had to put you in the class of Socrates and them fellas.
Hey! Oh, Lord.
I am a very imaginative man myself, but that's the way you do this. I say, what? And this Minister of Education, Anil.
Yes, tell me about that, because let me tell you.
Maybe you need to bring her back to school and she start learning from the alphabet.
Now, me, I want to bring she nowhere, and I like natural hair.
Well, because, we just start from ABC. Like she know nothing, boy.
No, she know nothing. All she know is how to blush when Rowley pass.
But boy, Anil, congratulations on that performance, boy. I ain't lying. I ain't hear nobody sing on it, but...
Which one again? Tell me, I was watching something. Which performance you talking about?
Oh, yeah. Imagination, I had to put you in the bracket of Socrates and them.
Why?
Because of the class of it, to be imagine. For you to sit down and conceptualize the idea of going at rowdy through the alphabet.
Oh, that right from the Monday night virtual.
Yes.
I was studying some technical difficulties there. I was not hearing you. Tell me, you like that one?
What do you mean? Where like that? Have no imagination. This is why you're afraid when you open up your mouth in the Senate.
You want to know why they afraid, man?
Let me know that.
I was telling Corky the other day. When you lie, you see, all the dislike, let me talk the truth, all the detest, I detest Kit Rowley as a man, as a human being, as a family man, as a politician, as a leader. He's just a total scumbucket. I detest the man, but not one day would you hear me ever lie on that man. All the hours on radio, Facebook, TV, whatever, I never lie on that man.
We always talk the truth.
Yes. So here why...
Man will always get it right.
But here why I dangerous. Them lie on me so much. Them tell every lie they could possibly tell on me, and I still standing up here in their face, telling them the truth and telling them all what I had to tell them. They had no more lie they could say on me, so that is when you make a man dangerous. When you come and you lie about the wife, you lie about his behavior, you lie about life sport, you lie about this, and you try to bury him and he still survive, and he out there in your face. What you go say again?
But they have to run a line.
Because you done pelt all your bullet and all miss. And you understand?
Again, boy, Anil. They are not for them to come at you
exactly. So leave them, because they are the most disgusting human beings who are carrying my beloved country down in the abyss. And the darkness must be obliterated by the light. And I putting you in charge of teaching Minister Bundles that we don't eat meat during Diwali, okay? That your work. Bless it. All right.
Right.
Oh Lord, I forget. I was studying that the call coming in. I want to hear it clear. But yes, he liked the Monday night when I went the ABCs of Rowley Boy Corky on the Monday night UNC virtual. From A to Z, you know. Rowley bad from the whole alphabet. Oh Lord, sorry. Good morning. 218. We taking one or two more calls. Hello, good morning. By the light. And I put in you. What is that? Where you going? Who is that? IDPN, man? Come through now, man. Why are you calling here? Anyway, call. Let me hear what you say. You point me by the light. Hello?
Anil?
Yes, hello.
You say that Kamala is work 20 hours a day. You are fool.
Hey, let me tell you something. I know your vocabulary is limited, being a PNM stooge, because intelligent people would not vote PNM. But don't feel you're calling here to call anybody fool and so on. If you would like, what's the address here? Tell him come down here and call me a fool. What's the address here? Down by Charlieville? By Holiday Foods. If you want to talk fool and thing, you just come down here and we will sort it out. Don't be calling like no coward and calling fool on the radio. But PNM, this show is an intelligent show for people who like to debate. All right? And Kamala Persad-Bissessar is the hardest working prime minister in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. Kamala Persad-Bissessar works ceaselessly every day, handling people, serving the people of Siparia, policy, cabinet meetings, allowing ministers to talk. Rowley does be on the golf course. Rowley does be in museum with his slippers and the ugly shirt, watching art to buy. Rowley does not even read documents and approve Bridgman deal over the phone. So, brother man, if you want to cuss and carry on, very simple. I invite you to come down here on the road outside there. You come and cuss me. Don't stay on no phone and call her eyes a fool. Yeah, maybe in your opinion, that's okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. However, if you cannot debate and so on, go and listen to your PNM show now, 91.9. Go and listen to them thing where they just call India and all kind of thing. That is your level. Don't call here. This Douglas is for bright people. If you're a PNM, come and try and discuss facts. Don't get emotional. If you want to get emotional, I will be outside at 9:06 a.m. All right, brother? Blessings. News time. Hey, wait, we can take one more. Hello.
One more.
Good morning.
Good morning, Anil.
Good morning. How you going?
Oh gosh, I went on to buy 4 doubles with heavy pepper.
At $6, that $24?
Well, I don't know if it was 6 or 7 or 8. All I know is I get the man $100 and he give me back 3.
Very
Yes,
good.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
because we
But I-
eating it.
But I want to comment on 2 things.
Go fast. Go
I
fast, because you're
recall-
news. Yeah.
I recall Senator Paul Richards coming to the Senate to chastise Senator John. And I hope that now he brings a motion against himself and his other 8 colleagues for what it is that they did. So I expect that. I am looking on and I'm expecting him to chastise himself and bring a motion against himself and his 8 friends. I expect that. And number 2, to the Minister of Education and her constituency executive. If you're engaged in an audience to participate in a fundraiser, by all means, Anil, you're allowed to serve whatever you want, right? But when it is that your sale is determined by an acknowledged date to a particular group, and in this case, you are recognizing the fact that it is Diwali, then you ought to be aware of what it is you're doing. You ought to be aware of the event and what it entails. Everybody knows for Eid. You ever see for Eid? Curry Q, curry pigtail?
Well, we go look for St. Anne's and the Minister bundles. Thank you. We go into the news on U97.5 FM. News.
U97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 97.5 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life, because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
News on MCTV.
This is the 7 a.m. news on MCTV and U975 Hot Like Pepper Radio. I am Andrew Chan. Good morning once again. Attorney Michael Ruplal says decisions made by acting commissioners of police Gary Griffith and McDonald Jacob remain in effect despite the court ruling. Speaking on the social contract yesterday evening, Ruplal was speaking specifically about adjustments made in the curfew times.
Whether the last curfew change that would have been made while there was an acting appointment which has now been deemed unlawful, whether that curfew change would be valid. The question to that, and the short question to that is yes. Any decisions made by either Acting Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith or Acting Commissioner of Police McDonald Jacob are valid in law. There's a principle in law called the de facto officer principle, which basically means any decision taken by the persons acting or holding that position de facto, in fact, then would remain valid. So just the short answer, yes, any decisions taken by Acting Commissioner Gary Griffith and Acting Commissioner McDonald Jacob would remain valid.
Ruplal was also able to give a perspective on yesterday's court ruling that the appointment of Griffith as an acting commissioner was null and void.
The judge held was that the procedure for the appointment of a substantive commissioner of police also applies to acting appointments. Viewers, just to let you know, and for those of you who already know, to refresh your memory, that appointment is set out, the procedure for that appointment is set out in sections 123, subsection 1 to 5 of the Constitution. And basically what it says is that the Police Service Commission must submit a merit list to the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, who upon receipt of that list shall send notifications to the Parliament, who will then appoint someone subject to negative resolution of Parliament.
Police reports indicate that Nizam Ali Cadet was murdered for doing his job, which was picking up garbage. As reported in the Newsday newspaper, Cadet 32 was collecting bags from bins along Laventel Road on Wednesday morning. At around 7:35 a.m., two gunmen ran out of Lovell Place and shot him. Cadet tried to run but collapsed as he was shot multiple times. The garbage truck driver panicked as he saw what was going on and drove off. Residents who heard the gunshots called the police and remained in their homes, too afraid to come out to assist the victim. Members of the police service later took a semi-conscious cadet to the Port of Spain General Hospital, where he died while being treated. Persons familiar with Cadet said despite battling with drug addiction years ago, he had gotten clean and worked hard to get his life together, beginning with doing small jobs in the area and becoming a plumber as well. The Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association is calling for a discontinuation of physical classes for students of Forms 4 to 6, except ones who have to do practicals for CXE exams and CAPE as well. After meeting with the Ministry of Education to discuss Forms 1 to 3 vaccinated students returning to school, TUTA held a press conference on Wednesday. President Antonio De Freitas said that Forms 1 to 3 should not come out for physical classes.
We need to have priority given to upper school students who are preparing for examinations. TUTA therefore calls for the discontinuation of face-to-face classes for all students of Forms 4 and 6, except for those students who are required to attend classes to complete the practical components for the high-stakes examinations. TUTA also, at this time, categorically disagrees with the reopening of physical school for Forms 1 to 3 in a manner that will create a higher level of inequity and disproportionate hardship for students.
She further expressed her dissatisfaction with the ministry for not having plans for any unvaccinated students.
So then we asked, what exactly is the plan for the unvaccinated students of Forms 1 to 3, who may very well be sitting examinations, NCSC examinations in 2022? Didn't get a straight answer to that either. Basically, as far as the Ministry of Education is concerned, the Ministry of Health has indicated, let us start returning vaccinated students to school. It's the safest way, and then we will take the others. It's one step at a time. Colleagues and parents, I don't know if that is good enough for us as educators, if that is good enough for us as parents.
In some international news now, Lebanon is holding a day of mourning after 7 people died and dozens were hurt in some of the worst violence for years in the capital, Beirut. Gunfire broke out on Thursday during a protest by Shia Muslim groups against the judge investigating last year's huge blast at the city's port. Hezbollah, which organized the protest, says demonstrators were fired on by gunmen on rooftops. They blamed a Christian faction, although the group denies the charge. Huge tension surrounds the inquiry into the port explosion that killed 219 persons in August 2020. Parts of the city were devastated by the blast, but no one has yet been held accountable. Hezbollah and its allies say the investigating judge is biased, but the victims' families support his work. And that brings us to the end of the 7 a.m. news on MCTV and U975 Hot Like Pepper Radio. I am Andrew Chan. Another newscast comes up at 8 a.m.
News on MCTV.
And that's news on U97.5 FM, MCTV, WBHM, the voice of rock, and Fun Radio. Sponsored by Newsday. Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life, because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Om Dum Durga Aye Namaha. Join with Pandit Sunil Sitahal Maharaj and the Ganesh Utsav Foundation for live coverage of 9 nights Devi Yagna from Thursday, October 7th to Friday, October 15th on U97.5 FM and MCTV promptly at 6:30 p.m. Sponsored by Prasad's The Food King, Bright Ideas, Fresh Oven, Fresh Harvest, Trintech Chrome and Hydraulic Services Limited, Sona's Jewelry and Gift Center, Oma's Puja Store, Davies and Devata's Woodworking Company, and Herbs and Health.
Coming soon on MCTV, the local Palooza show and countdown. Hosted by TNT's rock ambassador, Bees High Five, the metal merchant. See and hear all your favorite local rock bands. Keep it rock alive. Rhythms Communications Network, local Palooza show and countdown. Coming soon on MCTV, the local Palooza show and countdown.
It's Diwali Ka Taal. Join us on U97.5 FM and MCTV as we celebrate the rhythms of Diwali. Tune in to U97.5 FM for the Diwali Bhajan.
माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए, काम जब भी कोई करिए.
Listening is the name of the game. In or Pick a Deer promotion, 97 deers to choose from. Some of them can win you amazing prizes and gifts from our sponsors. Look out for delicious Diwali recipes on MCTV and U975 and show your colors in our first annual Rangoli competition. Get creative and share your pics to our Facebook or Instagram pages and get the most likes to win fantastic prizes. It's Diwali Ka Taal, the rhythms of Diwali.
Need a car? Spend less and hire the very best. Mitch Car Rentals. The best cars at the most affordable rates. Also available, quality affordable lawn care. Full service lawn care company. You grow it, we'll mow it. Reliable service with quality results at Mitch Car Rentals. Located at 178 Waterloo Road, Karapichaima. Call us today at 788-8420. Mitch Car Rentals.
That's right, Mitch Car Rentals. Pay less and hire the best. The best cars at affordable rates. Also available, quality affordable lawn care. Full service lawn care company. You grow it, we'll mow it. Reliable service with quality results. So if you need a car, well then, you gotta check out Mitch Car Rentals today. They are located at 178 Waterloo Road, Karapichaima. And you can even give them a call on 788-8420.
And this traffic update brought you the kind compliments of Mitch Car Rentals. You are in some traffic this morning if you're heading up the Uriah Butler Highway in the vicinity of the studio here close to Charlieville. You are going at approximately right now, you're nearly at a standstill. Yeah. So some heavy traffic, 5 kilometers per hour heading up. I would tell you that the police are out working. Whether they have a commissioner of police right now, at least we are seeing that police are manning the highway, so that is a good sign. It doesn't mean that they have a plan and a leadership. There is still a leadership crisis, but the traffic police are out there. I'm not going to tell you where, because I want you to behave yourselves and drive properly, drive with courtesy. And it's moving a little bit smoother now, so that may have been just a temporary interruption. You've moved up to 33 kilometers per hour on the Uriah Butler as you approach Grand Bazaar. in the vicinity of Grand Bazaar, you will slow down as you begin to make your turn towards the west. You will slow down to 22 kilometers. If you're on the Churchill Roosevelt Highway, you are in traffic and there are police all around, so don't go on any shoulder. You should not be having to tell you that. Drive safely, seat belts on, mask on with your family in the car. That traffic update brought to you with the kind compliments of Mitch Car Rentals.
Welcome to Rhythms Communications Network.
We are Multicultural Television, MCTV. Total local programming, the latest news, all the sports, our culture. MCTV.
MCTV is broadcasting in HD on Flow 114, Digital 22, Amplia 119, Airlink 18, RVR 109, Mayaro Cable 103, ICNTT 120. MCTV bringing you back where you belong.
U975 FM, hot like pepper multicultural radio.
All the music you know and love, played by the DJs who know how to mix it just right. We don't come slight, we come hot like pepper.
Informative and entertaining with the hottest DJs in the country. On the World Wide Web with fun radio, adult contemporary music, and
WBHM, the voice of rock. Rock.
Rhythms Communications Network, connecting cultures, connecting communities.
And good morning and welcome back to Coffee and Doubles, or Doubles and Coffee, whichever way you like it and you prefer it. But it's a good local combination on U97.5 FM Multicultural Radio. And we're privileged to be joined by a senator who in the last year and 2 months has shown the country what brilliance, independent, strong-minded women can do. Even when they are mothers and have their little babies to see about, who throw down their tablets and their laptops while they're doing interviews on national TV. I met this lady and I listened to her when we were walking into the Senate last year. And the PNM thought, as they saw Senator Mark, they said, oh Lord, Senator Mark, we know he. Jolene John, that strong, intelligent, brilliant woman who held ministerial portfolios. They saw David Naked. Oh, they say, oh Lord, that man has fight people and end up in jail in Lebanon and think fighting for African people. They saw Damian Lyder and Anil. But they saw this beautiful, quiet, unassuming Indian lady walking in, and they were wondering, who was this? She made her debut contribution and they said, oh Lord, she worse than all of them. She brighter, she sharper, and she's stronger. Senator Jayanti Lakshmidiyal, good morning.
Good morning, Anil, and thank you for that very lovely introduction. I feel like I'm on a political platform.
Yes, Gil, well, unite doubles and coffee, we don't make joke. Talk to me. You were part and parcel of the case yesterday. Explain it for my people. I know some people may understand, those of you who are in the law chambers and so on, but on doubles and coffee, we take complex issues and break it down for the people. So start at the beginning, Senator Lakshmidiyal, and take me through it.
All right, so let's start at the beginning. The beginning here is that Alwari brought an order. They drafted an order to amend with the process for appointing a commissioner of police. And back in 2009, there was already an order in place dealing with acting appointments. The Constitution also makes provision for the Police Service Commission to make acting appointments, and there's a process and a procedure to be followed. Alwari brought into this order now in 2021 a clause that we call paragraph 4. And the infamous paragraph 4 was so poorly drafted that it has led to this state of affairs that we have now. It basically said that the Police Service Commission, when the contract has when the office of Commissioner of Police is vacant or is about to become vacant, the Service Commission will send a list of names to the president. It went no further to vest that power to make the appointment in the commission. It did not explain that the procedure that had to be followed thereafter was that the notification be sent to the parliament and so on. But those procedures are very clearly set out in our constitution. So lo and behold, the for whatever reason, now you will recall, I think you were on sick leave at the time, Anil, but
Yes.
he had brought a motion to negative this order in the Senate. Senator Mark piloted the motion. Of course, it was defeated. The PNM used the majority. And interestingly, all of the independent senators voted with them against us. And they said, no, this order is staying, and we have trust and confidence in the Police Service Commission that they will do their job and so on. Well, we see how that turned out, right? But there were other issues that we raised, and this thing of acting appointments is one paragraph of this order, this very, what we consider to be a very bad order. And regardless of whether the motion was defeated or not, I will still reiterate that there were serious concerns we had coming out of that order. There used to be an independent firm contracted to conduct the human resource aspect of this process, the reviewing and the vetting and the making of the recommendations. They remove all of that. They say it costs so much money. Imagine this government that's spending money left, right, and center to defend bad law in the court, talking about this cost is too costly for the Police Service Commission to have this firm recruited and so on. So they cut out all of that. They made other adjustments and go forward. So coming now to the end, when the contract of Mr. Griffiths came to an end, the Police Service Commission purported to appoint him to act following this procedure just basically set out in the order, without having regard to what the Constitution says you need to do if you are going to appoint someone to act. And
take us through that clearly now.
One person raised it
Yes.
at first. I think there was attorney at law, Mr. Dave Prasad.
Right.
And Faris Al-Rawi, as the young people say, jump out the whole self to say that no, there's nothing wrong and we are all misguided and we are all, he's very quick to point out everybody who is misguided and everybody is misguided except him. It was a story carried exclusively in Newsday. He says, attorney wrong about errors making Griffith acting commissioner of police. And, the thing about that paragraph 4 is that it allowed the commission to submit names to the president of persons who were in the service as well as on contract. So, of course, yes, it did allow them to nominate Mr. Griffith to be appointed to act and to perhaps make the appointment. But it did not allow them to just get around the procedure that the Constitution prescribes, which is parliamentary oversight. When you are dealing with high office like Commissioner of Police, our Constitution creates procedures, and it may seem long and it may seem like it's, why is it so necessary to call out the parliament to debate these things in any event the government will pass it and so on. But it's an opportunity for every elected, and if you notice something, and I think it's important for people to know this, the Constitution prescribes that these things go to the House, not the Senate, right? Mm-hmm. And the reason for that, the framers of the Constitution and their wisdom understand that the need for the elected representatives of the people on both sides must have the opportunity to speak. Parliament it comes from the word parler, to speak, to talk. That is what you go there to do. You go to talk, to highlight issues, to do those things. So that process and procedure could not simply be written out of the scheme of things by Al-Wari and his order. And as the judge rightly said yesterday, a subsidiary piece of legislation like an order made by a minister, and in this case, Al-Wari claimed, although I think he tried to unclaim it afterwards, he claimed that he drafted the order and so on.
I like that. He tried to unclaim it.
You cannot sit there and write something that just overrides the process and procedure outlined in Section 120 of the Constitution, and that's what he tried to do. So that is what we ended up challenging, rather than taking the free legal advice, which I thought Mr. Dave Prasad gave him through the media by saying that the process was incorrect and moved swiftly to correct it. Al-Wari is what happens when arrogance meets ignorance of the law. And when those two things collide, we ended up with this situation, because rather than going and looking at the matter very carefully and saying, well, you know what, there's probably merit in this and we need to alter it. Of course, before we commence litigation, as you would probably know and most people know, you have something called a pre-action protocol letter that you must send and indicate that, look, this is our view, that this is wrong, etc., etc. Al-Wari, no, everything is right, everything is great. He as Mrs. Prasad Bissessa, our honorable leader, said yesterday, he tapped up Dave Prasad and said, no boy, I draft this thing and it's perfect and everything is all hunky-dory and we're good to go. And then, so we filed our claim in the court. And the court ruled that we were correct, that the process and the procedure in the Constitution must be followed for acting appointments as well as substantive appointments. That you must send, the list goes to the president must send a notification to the parliament, and it must be debated by way of a motion and so on to confirm the person. And just the same procedure that they go through to make a permanent appointment, where you go through the list and there's, your merit list and one name, and if it's not accepted, you go to the next name and so on. It is the same procedure that you could follow for acting appointments.
Now, Jayanti, you have been operating in the courts for some time now, and you have been part and parcel of some serious cases. You've observed learned senior counsel, justices, and you've learned, and you yourself are now a brilliant attorney. If I'm going to ask it this way, because I know you're also a senator. So your boy Anil don't want to put you in trouble, right? Not that you're afraid of trouble. But let me ask you a hypothetical question. If there was a jury of 9 people who, after the selection process had been approved to be independent and suitable to hear evidence presented to them, not 12, we just say 9, right? You'd have 9 people. And you're presenting arguments over a document that they can read, they can vet, they can listen to both sides of an argument. Have you ever seen that a jury, would it be possible for a jury of independent, impartial minds to get it 100% 9 out of 9 wrong? Have you ever seen that? Have they ever taught you that in law school, that is a possibility?
Well, I mean, no. When you say that, whether there would be, okay. So I understand where you're going now with the 9. All right, but
we just leave it in my hypothetical. Yes.
It really goes back to this. People sometimes see what they want to see. I think sometimes people see things without, they want to, we are so eager to take the high road, and we don't want to be perceived as being obstructionist, and we don't want to see us opposing for opposing's sake. And Anil, you like myself and all our other colleagues, 19 downstairs and 6 of us upstairs, we take a lot of licks for that. But you know what? I'm willing to stand up and take that lick. I remember when a very similar matter we filed when the composition of the Judicial and Legal Service Commission was found to be bad. And it was it had to do with the composition in the Constitution. And to make a long story short, I mean, we were laughed at, we were ridiculed, we were, everybody said, well, you all have to be crazy to think that the president was making these appointments without having proper recourse to the Constitution, We went to midnight injunction, this, that. They immediately had an appeal, they threw us out, they laughed us out of the Hall of Justice, but we went all the way to the Privy Council, only for the Privy Council to say that we were right. It took us time, but that has happened. Now, sometimes you have to take unpopular positions, and that applies equally in politics and the law, but you do it in the public interest. And I have always said that I will always, listen, there have been cases throughout history in Trinidad and Tobago, and I have to say, and I want to say this morning, as unpopular as it may be, that sometimes, people tend to think that because we are affiliated to the UNC, that our legal practice, some of us, we are tainted in some way, and that we are not seeking the public interest. Well, I don't see any greater way to seek the public interest than to vindicate the rule of law through the courts. And if it is that people do not have we try it in the parliament, right? That is why we brought the motion. You sit in the parliament and you try to highlight the issue. And the UNC, and I said it before, and the honorable political leader has said it many times, if we do not succeed in the parliament, we will take it to the court. And that is how we have to ensure that the rule of law is preserved. Remember, we have something called the separation of powers. The separation of powers is there as a check and a balance on each other. So when Parliament gets it wrong, as it did in this case, Parliament and the executive got it wrong. The executive got it wrong in the order, and the Parliament got it wrong when they did not pick up on the issue in this legal notice. They voted against us, so the Parliament got it wrong, the executive got it wrong. Well, the court had to step in and get it right. And, it requires someone to take up the challenge and to take up the fight. And I'm very I'm privileged to be able to do both at this point in time, both in the Senate and in the courts, and to continue to work through the court to do this. And I think it's just a fight that we have to take on, and I really wish the population would understand how much effort the opposition puts into taking up these challenges, both in the parliament and in the courts and in the court of public opinion as well. Our roles as the people, I'm sure you hear the criticism, well, they're only talking. Well, that's what we're there to do, but we're not just there to talk to listen to ourselves, we're there hoping that I'm hoping that everybody listening here today will understand that it is the incompetence, it is the failure to listen, it is the failure to consult, and it is the plain and simple inability to understand serious constitutional law principles on behalf of the legal advisor to the state person of Faris Alwari that has led us into this situation here today, where the appointment of Mr. Gary Griffith to act as Commissioner of Police has been found to be unconstitutional, null and void, and of no effect. Now, and we have to move on to the other problem we have now, because Anil, had all things been equal, and this case had succeeded, and it was found that Mr. Griffith's appointment was bad, and that it did not follow the procedure could have simply been followed, and we would say, okay, let us correct our error, as was done in other matters, as I mentioned, that matters to do with the Judicial and Legal Service Commission. They then had to, when the Privy Council ruled in our favor, go back and make appointments properly and so on, and correct your error. What the PNM has done now, and under their watch, what we have happening now is that we don't even have nobody to make the appointment, because the whole Police Service Commission imploded. After we filed this matter, this thing unfolded like a soap opera. And you had all of these things happening where people were visiting President's house and somebody intervening, and now people saying that they were doing their duty to keep the President informed, and we got evidence coming out in this matter of the process being completed to appoint a police commissioner, and a list being carried on the 12th of August to the President. We don't know which list, whether it was a list for the substantive appointment or acting appointment, some saying substantive, some saying acting. We have one member of the Police Service Commission coming out and saying that the chairman was getting information and that she was making decisions and acting with them. So all of these things happened. It ended up with everybody resigning, and now, on top of having no commissioner of police, nobody acting as commissioner of police, we have nobody to even appoint somebody to act as commissioner of police, because the whole Police Service Commission has fallen apart under the watch of the PNM administration. And that has to do really less with incompetence and more with interference. And that level of interference is what is really scary, Anil. And that is something that the population has to understand how dangerous it is to democracy when processes and procedures that to be carried out by independent office holders, people who are supposed to be independent and who are supposed to hold office and who are supposed to see the public interest, are being influenced by political figures and are being influenced by politics. And I want to raise something that I think that people tend to forget as well. When the former chairman of the Police Service Commission, when her nomination came to the Parliament, it was raised in the House. And again, this is why they say we talk, but it's not
that's
just that
the
we talk,
point.
we raise
Yes.
issues.
Correct. Rudal Munilal brought it up. Correct.
Was sitting as a PNM appointed board member
Of the CDA. Taking instruction from the PNM.
Authority. And we said, how can someone who holds because that's what a state board appointment is, it's a political appointment.
Exactly.
How can someone holding a political appointment be objective and be fair and hold a high constitutional office like chairman of the Police Service Commission, who is in charge of ensuring that we have an independent process, that we have an independent police commissioner, if you yourself are not independent? You may recall, Anil, I tried to raise it when we had a motion dealing with service commissions in the Senate.
Yes.
I was stopped, and I mean, I mean no disrespect to the chair and to the president of the Senate, but she stopped me and said, well, you're not allowed to speak
But
about
Janti,
persons who are appointed by the president.
Senator,
It's just a serious issue.
Just now, wait. I go bring it, me afraid none of them. You pause there. Because I was sitting there, and the motion was brought by, inverted commas, independent Senator Vera, who I am asking him while he telling me that I faking asthma and he don't know me. He ain't read my medical records. He don't know nothing about my history, about when I get almost dead from asthma 3 times. He say I fake asthma. He is an independent senator, but I see pictures of him receiving appointment from Rohan Sinanan to be on a board. And when you were discussing his motion, because he is promoting the P&M policy that espoused by Rowley, that the service commissions need revamping and reorganization and must be removed. When you were bringing out that point about the very bliss Prasad, and this was about 5 months ago, before anything happened, you were shut down. The PNM told you to hush, move on, and that is part and parcel while we are in this problem now, because the opposition is to talk, the opposition is to bring points, and when we are shut down and the information is not brought out, we now end up in constitutional crisis.
And it is, and well, the PNM, of course, they have to try to deflect from this now, but the opposition leader is again raising a serious issue. And she was so gracious yesterday in her press conference, and she said, I have nothing against people personally. I know Mr. Coilas, and I agree with her as well. I know Mr. Coilas is a very well respected attorney in San Fernando. He practices and so on.
Yes, but he's a PNM.
But if the perception is there that you are affiliated to a particular political
not perception, Senator. Senator, you're too nice and too diplomatic. Hold on, no perception. The man was on a PNM platform just last year. The man hosts a thing for tight pants, mascara man, makeup wearing, Al Rawi, Al Rental, Al Rent Porsche. He hosted at his address a cocktail financial donation to the PNM. He is not independent. He could be the greatest attorney. God bless him. Go and get PNM brief. Go and argue. But to be on an independent police service commission, all you had to be mad. You go ahead now. I don't afraid none of them.
I want to throw out something there to your listeners.
Yes.
If it is that when the People's Partnership government was in power, they had taken up your campaign manager, let's just say, whoever was your campaign manager when you fought that.
Jerry Hadid, yes. And put him on the police.
That person to sit on a service commission.
Yes.
This country would go mad.
What? It would have riot. It would have mannequin.
Drag out every mannequin.
Yes.
Every Transparency International, Transparency International, everybody, every union, every
correct.
All these so-called thing, all the Helen Draytons, all the Father Gordon, this one, that
yes.
one. Everybody would have had something to say about it. Everybody.
As you say, wait, hold on. As you say, Transparency International. No, I just want to hammer the point, because this country has accepted the tarnishing and the poison juice into the well of independence. At that time, that Transparency International you were talking about, that every Monday morning, Derek Murray, who I love and respect as the greatest West Indies wicketkeeper in history, Derek Murray was the chairman of Transparency International. If Munilal do oomph, he jump out in the morning. If Kamala say umph, he jump out in the morning. As the PNM lie on email gate.
I think shut down. I think since 20.
Well, you know where he is now?
When PNM assume office, I assume that Transparency International.
You know where Derek Murray is?
I think the chapter closed down.
You know, exactly. You want to know? Wait, you want to know where Derek Murray is? As PNM win, he went on the sport company of the PNM, and then he got promoted to the High Commissioner, PNM High Commissioner of Jamaica. That's where he is. So that is where Transparency gone, in the PNM Balize house.
But and there's so many others we do not hear.
Exactly.
No, but every business association. Listen, something like the importance of the commissioner of police.
Yes.
Is so important. But you will not hear them say, "Well, I want to." Do you understand the significance of having an independent commissioner of police? If you don't have an independent commissioner of police, your liberty, your life, your freedom, every single constitutional right and freedom that you enjoy could be under threat if you do not have an independent commissioner of police. And an independent commissioner of police comes from an independent police service commission. And that is important enough for us to raise every single issue. We raise the issue about Blissy Prasad, nobody listens. We try to raise it again this year in the Senate, we get shut down. Well, you see what happened now?
Bacchanal.
According to, not according to the UNC, not according to Kamala Prasad Pisasa, not according to Anil Roberts or Jansi Lachmidial, according to someone who was sitting there with her on the Police Service Commission, said that she basically went off on a frolic of her own, was receiving information from some unknown person, was doing this, doing that, the other. And I must say, and I totally have to throw my weight and support behind the honorable political leader when she says that the president must come out and answer questions. It is simply unacceptable for the country to be in this state of upheaval. And I mean, we are falling apart at the seams. Well, literally, I mean, the road and things falling apart. Our foundation, you know, our constitutional foundation is also falling apart. I mean, we are not. The place is just in a total and complete mess. And you know, I just do not think that silence is an option. People are very concerned. Mr. Gary Griffith made a statement yesterday, I think via video, and he said, look, there's a plot to oust him, people do not want him there, and that, you know, these things are going on. He went through the whole, you know, the whole story from beginning to end about allegations, people putting allegations in. This Blissy Prasad character went and basically suspended Griffith, and from the emails that were leaked afterwards and so on, it appeared that he did it without the agreement of all the members of the Service Commission and suspended the man from acting. Now, fine, the acting appointment was bad to begin with, and we know that now, and the court ruled yesterday. Well, we always knew, Alwari didn't know, but, you know, he knows now, and the court has ruled in our favor, so it is established that the acting appointment was bad. But that doesn't change the fact that even if it was good, what the Service Commission did afterwards, when this mysterious masked individual came and met and so on and passed information and whatever, you know, it doesn't change that. And you cannot simply resign and walk away from this. You have to answer. You have to answer to the people. You are holding office established by our Constitution, the highest law of the land. You are holding that office. You know, Blissy Prasad and the other commissioners must come out and answer questions, and the president also has a duty to answer those questions. Come, baby, wait. Sorry.
Good morning, sweetheart.
And to tell the population what it is that happened. We are in a situation right now where our Police Service Commission is a rudderless ship. We, you know, Rowley and I'm trying to say, boy, inspector go inspect, and sergeant will continue sergeanting, and that's absolute rubbish. That's nonsense. That is just their attempt to trivialize a very serious matter. As the political leader pointed out in her budget speech, and again yesterday in her press conference, the Commissioner of Police is the Chief Accounting Officer. We are in budget season right now. All the expenditure of monies and authorization and so on has to come from the Police Commissioner. And I think we'll be hearing more today about other matters that fall within the remit of the Police Commissioner, which, you know, you can't simply say. I saw a press release come out and say, well, okay, McDonald Jacob is the most senior deputy Commissioner of Police, so he will continue to run things. Listen, you can't just pick up a man and say, well, all right, you have no appointment and there's nobody to appoint you, but you think it's not a parlor you're running. And that's the problem we have here. The PNM is running this country like it's a parlor, right? Like, you know, I go in on the road and it's a nobody to hold on now, so you hold on now, right? You go hold on, Anil. I'm coming back just now. And they're going off to try to find people now to establish a Police Service Commission, and they're going off to try to find people now to I don't know if, I mean, you know, the leader has rightly said that this whole, what has played out in the public domain really erodes trust and confidence in the process that would have taken place so far. So it may very well be necessary that a new Police Service Commission may have to start over the process from scratch with respect to the appointment of a police commissioner.
How is your daughter there? I hear your daughter. Is she all right?
What's that?
I hear your daughter. Is she okay?
Yeah, she's singing.
She's singing. All right, she's singing. Let me see if she can sing like Destra.
You saw the issue this morning. She got so excited with the iPad.
Yeah, she fell down the iPad. Don't worry, mommy go get her next one for she.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. But yeah, so look, I always tell people if there's one thing you get to be is you get real. You get real life. You
But
get
exactly,
real,
nothing wrong with that. You're right. You could be independent, intelligent, be making constitutional law and winning cases and hugging up your daughter same time. That is a brilliant example
time.
for all of us out here. Now, Janti, you are a member and you law. Let me tell you, I come from a family of lawyers and so on, and I grew up just being in awe of lawyers and respectful and my mother was the godfather for senior counsel. I wouldn't call his name now, godfather to a child and so on, right? However, I have seen and even here on the radio, some people may not understand how much it pains me to bring the president into any discussion. And recently I have had to bring her into discussion frequently over the last 21 days. This was a lady who, when I was doing my first year law and coaching, then I decided to be a swimming coach rather than do law and following where I was supposed to go all the time. She was the lady lecturing me on constitutional law. You would know the big yellow book. And then she went on to lecture in ethics at Hugh Wooding. And she was a great lawyer and a national scholarship winner and a great appeal court judge. How do you feel as a lawyer who respects the system, the independent tenets of the system, the entire judiciary is based on respecting and nearly revering the principle of independence and independence decisions? How does it make you feel that someone with such high regard and knowledge could be so silent in this crisis?
Well, Anil, like you, I come from a family of lawyers. And so let me just preface this here. I have nothing but the greatest respect for the office of the president, and I understand the role that the office of the president plays in our system of government and according to our constitution and so on. I also have the greatest respect for the president office holder, who was a court of appeal judge when I began my career, and who I had, I was in awe of. And I was also, having someone like that appointed to be the president, I felt very proud to see a woman, to see a female jurist of her caliber be appointed to the office of president. How it makes me feel in this situation is, well, one, I think it is very unfortunate that she's been put into this position. And she's been put into this position because of, I put it squarely on two things. On the political interference of the PNM and also the incompetence of the Attorney General. Because it came out in this case, let me deal with the incompetence point first. It came out in this case that the president had concerns when the PSC came to her and she had to interpret that paragraph for. And the evidence in the matter is that the president actually wrote through her staff and so on to identify what she thought would be, that it was a little bit unusual, and she did not understand what the role was that had to be played. Now, unfortunately, the office of the president doesn't have a lot of power to say, well, I'm not going to do this or I'm not going to do that. As we know, sometimes the president must act in accordance with what the cabinet, to carry out give effect to the decisions of cabinet and so on. In this circumstance, what I would have liked to see, and I mean no disrespect to the office of the president or to the office holder at this present time, but what I would have liked to see is that those concerns ought to have been communicated directly, perhaps to the Attorney General. Those concerns that were raised in the communication to the Police Service Commission should have perhaps, come with some advice to the Attorney General, because he needs all the advice he could get, and tell him that perhaps you need to, Mr. Attorney General. Do you know this is done quite frequently in the UK, where the Attorney General can refer a matter for interpretation to the court? And perhaps having regard to the fact that the learned former Court of Appeal judge, who is now our sitting president, the highest office holder in the land, saw that there was a issue with the drafting and that this thing may not have been proper and so on. Perhaps she should have advised the Attorney General that it was necessary to seek an interpretation from the court. Perhaps she should have advised the Attorney General that, look, this piece of law seems bad and maybe you need to look at it again. Whether he would have taken the advice or not is questionable, because he got our advice from Attorney Dave Prasad that the whole thing was bad and he should have corrected it, and he didn't. But be that as it may, that's one thing. The other thing that happened with respect to the interference in the process, and this is why I say I want to hear from my president. I want my president to break her silence and to speak to the people of this country to explain what transpired, because all is not well. It is not that, look, when you hold office like president, people look to you for independence. People look to you, I think, for clarity. You have the final say on certain things. If there were matters raised with Blissy Prasad that caused her to hold back a merit list, that caused her to do certain things, that caused her to then go off, as we say, on a frolic of her own and suspend people and do things and have communication with political people that she ought not to have been having and so on. I think the president owes it to the country to say what happened and to set it right and to try to help clean up this mess and to restore some confidence. You have to understand, I don't think that trust and confidence in high offices of this land has ever been lower than it is right now. I don't think people in this country can have any faith in Faris Alwari as an Attorney General, and rightly so. Look, I think he's the best landlord of the state and the worst lawyer of the state. I say that all the time. That man, he needs to stick to drafting his building rental agreement. Well, I see he has a new line of business now in drafting indemnities. Maybe that's his forte, and he needs to stick to it. But Anil, this is the third time that I know of where things drafted by Alwari, the court has had to say that, look, it's bad, it's unconstitutional, the drafting is poor. There was a case recently with the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Act to deal with the merit points. The court said, look, the drafting, Justice of Appeal Producing, I think it was, said that the drafting is very bad. The same police commission matter in 2015, when they tried to alter the process and insert the minister in it. Mrs. Prasad Bisesa led the team. Again, I was privileged to be part of that team as well, so I'm very familiar with the matter. That is the case of Haridat Maraj. They said no, unconstitutional. So twice this man comes to interfere with this process of appointing a commissioner of police, and twice the court had to say the order you drafted is bad. So how can the population have any confidence in him? How can the population have any confidence in a prime minister who is ducking and avoiding the question about this? We're hearing about reports and people doing a FRICO investigation. Two people who have absolutely no standing, who have absolutely no, they are retired from one is a retired sailor and the other one is a retired.
Before you go there,
I believe.
Before you go there,
yeah,
I would just tell you.
They hold no office.
Yeah.
They have no powers of investigation.
Wait, we go in there.
Complaints authority, but Rowley had them doing something and saying that he's doing it from the National Security Council. I mean, this is like real mongoose gang kind of
Correct.
kind of thing.
Hold on, before you go there, because I am going to tell you, based on your analysis of the president in this situation, because it's very sad. We have to discuss the president, the prime minister, the office of the attorney general, the National Security Council, the cabinet, the police service commission. All of these things are connected. But let me tell you why I am deeply disappointed in the president. Because according to Dave Chappelle, just like Dave Chappelle in his new series on Netflix, his stand-up comedian, I am a feminist. Because in my life, from my mother to my primary school teachers, to my teachers at Fatima, to being a coach and seeing the strength and ability of female swimmers to take pressure, and I am not no easy coach. Understand that I put athletes through absolute mental and physical torture morning and evening, and I saw and I have evidence, empirical data, that the female being can take more pressure than the man. So I am a true feminist. I believe that women are stronger than us. I believe that if we had to bring children into this world, the world would have dead out. It would have had no children at all. I am telling you that. I am not afraid to say it. I have evidence to show that women are stronger than men. Now, if what you have said, and I agree with everything you said, about the brilliance of Paula May Weeks, the intelligence, Therefore, I put it to you, and I don't put it to you, I put it to the listeners, that I am more perturbed by a strong, independent, brilliant woman who knew the Constitution, knew the law, knew what was right, and therefore we should have been protected. Our Constitution should have been protected by her strength and her brilliance, rather than her being influenced by a weak politician, especially a scumbucket like Rowley. So I am deeply disturbed. I am deeply pained by the inner and
I would say, if I had
disappointed.
to sum up my feelings in one word,
Yes.
about this whole thing, I would say that I am very deeply, yes, I'm like you, very deeply disturbed and
Yes.
about what Rowdy and Emma are doing. In everything, and not just in this, but in everything in our country. that they
She
are
should
doing.
have told him where to
I
go
am very
and put him in
disappointed.
his place.
Yeah, and I feel that, look, it pains me. It pains me to see, people yesterday called me, tell me, congratulations on winning this match. I said, there's no congratulations in this,
It's a sad,
This is
yeah,
a
sad day.
sad state of affairs that our country is in right now. I heard Mr. Ram Logan say it yesterday, and my paw was raised. He said, for the first time in the history of our country since our independence, we do not have a police commissioner or even an acting police commissioner. And, I had to continue and say, that, senior, we also do not have a police service commission, not one single member. And this whole thing, the author of this crisis is really Keith Rowley, aided and abetted by the incompetence of Alwari. And also, I don't know who else was involved in this interference, but I am deeply disappointed that those who know better, who should know better, who I know better, and they know that they know better, did not stand up and put an end to this. And I would reiterate the call made by our esteemed leader, another very strong, brilliant woman who knows the Constitution and who understands the role and the function of the office of the president, and who understands her own role and function to highlight issues in the public interest, and she's been doing so admirably and brilliantly. And Anil, I think you could agree with me that Mrs. Prasad Bisesa has been, she's a beacon of hope in this time of darkness that this country has been plunged into. Because when you listen to her, and those who understand and who want to listen and who want to understand will hear the way that she articulates the issues that are affecting the country right now, and they must they must appreciate how fair she is being. She's given people an opportunity, she has identified the issues and she has called upon people to answer questions, and she has put the questions out there. And I think that any right-thinking citizen of this country must get behind Mrs. Prasad Bisesa right now as leader of the opposition and pressure the government and call upon the president as well to answer these questions. We know Rowley's
forget Rowley, yes.
He will deflect and sing, and he goes on to
He will procure without procurement. But Auntie, answer this for me. Auntie, answer this for me. Because you belong to a profession where independence is revered. And all the systems, whether it is even with this nonsense that people were trying to say, the UNC collapsed the budget debate. How can you debate something that has not been presented? When you go into a magistrate court.
People wanted the opposition to stand up there and talk about government policy.
Well, that's what I didn't understand. Isn't the system
I didn't hear the Minister of Digital Transformation come and say why he have our website.
Correct.
I didn't come and hear him talk about his plans. I didn't hear the Minister of Energy come and talk about what he's going to do to deal with this scrap iron yard that's stretching from Point Apaya to Point Lisas right now. I didn't hear the Minister of Rural Development to come and say what he's going to do about flooding. So what they wanted the opposition to stand up and talk about.
Well, that's my point. And in your
government statement of policy,
in the magistrate's court,
they spend and tell you how they plan to spend money in the year to come.
For example, in the magistrate's court, when you bring in criminal charges and so on, doesn't the prosecution have to present its case and provide disclosure of evidence?
Case and must close their case.
And then you could defend.
Must close their case, and then the defense gets
well. So how the government could not present the case? The minister say the minister of energy will give more details. The minister of sport will give more details. The minister of education in a presentation will give more details. The minister of social development, public administration will give more details. And they didn't give details, but they discussed in UNC. Now tell me about this.
The thing about it is that they could spin it how they want. This budget was a colossal waste of time, a disaster. Nobody, there's nothing to talk about. They put forward no plans, no policy. So they probably had nothing to talk about. They probably had nothing to talk about themselves because look, what in this budget really excites the population? Pigtail? I mean, come on. There's nothing. They put forward absolutely no real substantive
Chicken curry-Q in Diwali. Chicken curry-Q in Diwali. That is what excites.
Oh, God.
Jayanti, talk about that for me. Talk about that for me.
And I see plenty of people, both positive and negative, talking about it, but I make no apologies for what.
What negative about what? Who could be negative about a minister of culture, a minister of education in a constituency not understanding and disrespecting a religion to try to promote a curriculum with selling meat as a Diwali celebration?
Well,
what nonsense.
This is why I say when the PNM like to go on every platform and they send out the nice little messages for holidays and multicultural society. That's not a buzzword to use. You have to live it. And you have to live the example. You are a bad example of what people living in a multicultural society should be like. Anil, I am not a Hindu. I'm not. My name. I am not a practicer. I come from a very diverse and mixed background of both Hindu and Christian as well. But I'm a practicing Christian, right? I was born as a Christian. I baptized, whatever. I attend church, etc., etc. But I grew up around my Hindu and Muslim friends and so on. Do you think I would be so, culturally insensitive
exactly
to advertise a curry-Q serving chicken with a deer on the flyer and so on? That is like saying, you having
that's like advertising pigtail during Eid. Yeah, exactly. That is madness. And anybody who's trying to defend that is sick in their head. Jayanti Lakshmidan, Senator, talk to the people for 45 seconds. They are worried. They are afraid. There is no leadership by the TTPS. People are being kidnapped, robbed, raped, and killed. What can they look for? Talk to them.
Well, I would just want to end off by saying that all is not lost. There's hope. There's always hope that the sun will rise again, and there's hope in the United National Congress.
Thank
you. The UNC is the best hope for this country. The UNC has a track record. Think about the 5 years of the paradise that this country was under the leadership of Kamala Persad-Bissessar, and hold strong to the knowledge and the faith that we can get back there again. We can return this country to some semblance of normalcy. We can restore the rule of law, which has suffered tremendously under the PNM, and we can rebuild and restore Trinidad and Tobago. All we need is the right leadership and the right people to get the job done. Those people are here. We are united. We are strong in the house of the rising sun. And I encourage everyone to get behind the United National Congress and support us in our quest to rebuild and restore Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you, Senator Jayanti Lakshmidial, United National Congress Senator. As we cross to join MCTV on U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper News.
U97.5, make it your choice. Something for everyone. 97.5 FM, music for
This is the 8 a.m. news on MCTV and U975 Hot Like Pepper Radio. I am Andrew Chan. Good morning once again. Agriculture Minister Clarence Rambarat says the ministry has made commitments to farmers in Trinidad and Tobago. Speaking during the Standing Finance Committee of the House of Representatives, the minister revealed some $400 million had been set aside for specific projects.
That we've made commitments in respect of about 400 million of that 500 million. And those commitments are essentially in homestead projects, 2 homestead projects, in particular in El Reposo and in Talparo. We've made commitments in respect of projects within the ministry to the tune of about $20 million. We've made commitments and we've made payments in respect of the food box COVID relief program, and that is in respect of at least $62.5 million.
The minister added as well that the payment of salaries and other such gratuities were an estimate at this time and depended on appointments made by the Public Service Commission. During proceedings yesterday, the Agriculture Ministry was approved a further $710 million approximately.
It depends on what goes on during the fiscal year. The Public Service Commission may make appointments. For example, in the last fiscal year, we are happy to receive 25 new game wardens. It meant that vacant positions were filled. It would have required an adjustment, and that adjustment is made by changes within what is allocated to us. And it is impossible to say what will happen in this fiscal year because we do not know what the Public Service Commission would do in respect of filling vacancies. We have 631 positions in the ministry in which there are no bodies acting or otherwise.
The minister also spoke on cabinet-appointed committees looking at various aspects of the agricultural, land and fisheries ministry.
There's at least one cabinet-appointed committee, the Wildlife Conservation Committee, which is contained in the Conservation of Wildlife Act, and I'd be happy to provide the details of that committee and any other committee remunerated under that line item 010 Forestry, item 14.
Attorney at Law Martin George has called for total reform of the process to appoint a commissioner of police and a deputy commissioner. George said it is easier to appoint a president, a prime minister and a chief justice than it is to appoint a top cop.
Therefore, going forward, we have to look at this entire process and this legislation. It is way too cumbersome, way too onerous, and it is way too frustrating. And it creates too many obstacles and, opportunities for legal loopholes and legal challenges. We need to simplify the process of appointing a commissioner.
He stated there is a need for politicians to meet and make a decision quickly about appointing a commissioner and deputy commissioner as well.
For the first time in the history of this nation, we will be without someone sitting in the office of commissioner, either through a substantive appointment or an acting appointment. What is required at this time is for a level of political maturity that we have never seen before from our politicians, but we are hoping they will display by rising to the occasion to quickly meet and decide upon the relevant legislation for the way forward.
The COVID-19 pandemic was one of the major considerations for the Caribbean Examinations Council to ensure no child was disadvantaged. This was made clear prior to the release of the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, or CSEC, and Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examinations, or CAPE, results, which come out today. This message came from the Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of the CXC, Dr. Wayne Wesley. He was speaking at a ceremony hosted by the CXC and the Ministry of Education in Guyana as he officially received the results of the exams.
I want to assure you that we understood the impact that COVID-19 would have on performance. Therefore, our deliberations during the marking and grading processes gave full consideration to ensure that candidates were not disadvantaged while ensuring the integrity of the examination process.
Dr. Wesley said the emerging imperative for member states is to develop resilience in the education sector. He said it is not about building back stronger, but creating a new system.
That it is more than just building back stronger. It is building back sustainably. To build back better or stronger suggests rebuilding the same structures and systems that would have failed to cope with the challenges of the global pandemic. Therefore, the approach to the rebuilding efforts is to build back sustainably through innovative transformation.
Given the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the education sector, Dr. Wesley announced a strategic plan for the examination body over the next 5 years.
CXC is now implementing a new 5-year strategic plan for the period 2021-2025. The vision is to create a digitally transformed enterprise providing quality, relevant, and globally recognized educational services. To this end, the strategic plan represents a structured system of transformation to include research and development. No longer should we be making plans and operating in a vacuum.
The Port of Spain City Council is proposing that their police officers escort sanitation workers when they go to East Port of Spain. The proposal is being made after the shooting death of garbage collector Nizam Ali Cadet while he was working on Wednesday. Speaking with Newsday, Councillor for East Dry River Clint Batiste said the proposal will see a reduction in the number of days that garbage will be collected in the area. The killing, police said, was as a result of ongoing turf war within the East Port of Spain area after the attempted killing of a gang leader earlier this year. Police said residents of Bath Street are not allowed to venture into Lower Place, Quarry Street, Rose Hill and Lovell Place. Residents from those areas are barred from entering Bath Street. Batiste said the proposal will have to be ratified by the General Council, but Bath Baz Sanitation Company Limited will have police escort on Friday. And let's take a look at your weather now for the period today until midnight in Trinidad and Tobago. Generally sunny conditions will be interrupted by light to moderate showers. There is a medium chance of afternoon thunderstorms favoring western and hilly areas of Trinidad. It should be a fair night with a light breeze and the odd shower. Gusty winds and street or flash flooding are possible near heavy downpours. Last night's minimum temperature was 26 degrees Celsius, while today's maximum is an expected 33 degrees Celsius. And that brings us to the end of the 8 a.m. news on MCTV and U975 Hot Like Pepper Radio. I am Andrew Chan. Your next major newscast comes up at midday.
And that's news on U97.5 FM, MCTV, WBHM, the voice of rock, and Fun Radio. Sponsored by Newsday.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Celebrate Republic Day with a craving for savings extravaganza. Passada Food King celebrates with pride our nation's 45th Republic Day, and we're giving you a national sale of savings like no other with over 250 super saving deals to choose from. You can be sure to budget like a boss and eat like a king in these tough times with your favorite family supermarket, Passada Food King. Check this out. Mabel Morby Concentrate, 2 for $10. Pepsi 2 liter, 3 for $18. Red Rose tea bags, 3 packs for $20. Maya Laundry Detergent Powdered Assorted 6 packs for $20. Hibiscus All-Purpose Flour 4 packs for $20. And a Soft and Pretty Bathroom Tissue 6 pack 2 for $18.99. Yes, that's right. This Republic Day and beyond, the unbelievable deals, the specials, and the savings are available at all Passada Food King locations. Manson La Road, Mayaro, Tabaquite Road, Rio Claro, New Grant, 2 stores in Princestown, 2 in Point Fortin, and Premier Street, Marabella, next to the Marabella Market.
Welcome to the Value Optical Rock the Frame Festival Red Carpet where we... Wait, Rennie, is that you?
Yes, darling.
Okay.
Hey, it's me. I get 15% off these frames and another 10% off the add-ons.
Tell us some more.
The Rock the Frame Festival is on now with fabulous deals on frames and lenses.
There you have it, folks. Book online or hurry down to rock your look at the Value Optical Rock the Frame Festival now. Value Optical, expert care for your eyes.
ST2 Industrial Services, a STO certified company, specializes in the following: abrasive blasting, industrial, marine and commercial painting services, installation of acid linings, tank linings and complex coatings in the petrochemical industry,
Process plants turnaround, abrasive blasting and painting services. Coating inspection services. Pressure washing. Specialized structural concrete repairs. In-house NACE coating inspectors level 1 to level 3. Our abrasive blasting and painting facility is located in the Point Lisa's Industrial Estate. All work is performed by certified blasters and painters. Contact ST2 Industrial Services Limited, a STO certified company at 269-0516.
As we celebrate the festival of light over darkness, let Magic Mist Services Limited take away the hassle of your Diwali home cleaning and maintenance needs. With our team of professional service team members, we will ensure your home receives the magic touch. Give us a call today at 638-6675 or 332-5522. Shub Diwali from Magic Mist Services Limited.
Om Dum Durga Aye Namaha. Join with Pandit Sunil Sitahal Maharaj and the Ganesh Utsav Foundation for live coverage of 9 nights Devi Yagna from Thursday, October 7th to Friday, October 15th on U97.5 FM and MCTV promptly at 6:30 p.m. Sponsored by Pasad's The Food King, Bright Ideas, Fresh Oven, Fresh Harvest, Trintech Chrome and Hydraulic Services Limited, Sona's Jewelry and Gift Center, Oma's Puja Store, Davies and Devata's Woodworking Company, and Herbs and Health.
तुम अपने रंग में रंग लो हे माँ दुर्गे।
Greeted in the wonderful name of Jesus. My name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, your chachi, your chacha, your grandpa, your grandma. We need to pray for our nation. God bless you. Thank you.
Praise Him, praise Him.
It's Diwali Ka Taal. Join us on U97.5 FM and MCTV as we celebrate the rhythms of Diwali. Tune in to U97.5 FM for the Diwali Bhajan.
माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए काम जब भी कोई करिए।
Listening is the name of the game. In or Pick a Deer promotion, 97 deers to choose from. Some of them can win you amazing prizes and gifts from our sponsors. Look out for delicious Diwali recipes on MCTV and U975 and show your colors in our first annual Rangoli competition. Get creative and share your pics to our Facebook or Instagram pages and get the most likes to win fantastic prizes. It's Diwali Ka Taal, the rhythms of Diwali.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
Coffee and Doubles with Anil Roberts.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say. They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say. Hey.
Good morning and welcome back to Coffee and Doubles on U97.5 FM. What a beautiful Friday morning in Trinidad and Tobago. The sun is blazing. There may be a darkness over the country as we listen to the brilliance, the intelligence of a strong, independent, intelligent, creative, fighting woman, Senator Jayanti Lakshmidiyal, United National Congress Senator. Just listening to her and interviewing her, I feel like I get a little smarter this morning. I must say, I'm very impressed with the abilities of these intelligent Trini women that we have willing to serve and fight for the people under Kamla Prasad Bisesa. So to Senator Jayanti Lakshmidiyal, Thank you very much. I'm sure the listeners and the viewers, Cocky tell me we on all kind of thing. And Douglas Politics, we on U97, we on something called the Mixed Cloud, whatever that is. That must
Facebook.
That must be the Douglas Cloud, the Mixed Cloud. Because we don't have any issues with politics and of race, politics of division. We respect all religion.
What I admire about you, the callers, the guy who call in and people trying to get you down. I want to play a song for you.
What? Nice boy. Hey, Cocky, you find a tune?
Yeah.
Boy, bring tune because I love tune.
Yeah.
Let me hear the lyrics. Cocky, bring it.
Say what you wanna say. That is not my concern. I will never lose my way. Forward me going, I have no time to reverse. Them can't get me down. Could never get me down. Hypocrites and
Wheel! Oh Lord, Friday on U97.5 FM. Doubles and coffee. Tune by Cocky. Wheel! Wheel it.
forward me going, I have no time to reverse. Them can't get me down. Could never get me down. Hypocrites and vipers around. They try to push me to the ground. Them can't get me down. Could never get me down. I praise the one who wears a crown. The one who sits on David's throne. Now, today for you, tomorrow for me, that's how it goes. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, you better know. Life is a cycle, naturally, that's how it flows. I am an overcomer, so I can't be overthrown now. Every day I give you thanks and praise. For he's the one who give me land today. When I'm timid, he makes me brave. To fight against those who try to put me in a grave. Them can't get me down.
Oh Lord, Cocky. They come down pay them. Round you can't get me down. You old double stuff Oreo. You waste of time. Come out the people office. Give the country a chance to breathe, Rowley. You're total failure. You're incompetent. You have no brain. Your cabinet should go. All you're doing is enriching yourself with recusal. You feel you could get it down? All you're making joke by fire burn all you on U97.5 FM this morning. Good morning, Cocky. Cocky, good tune, boy. Cocky, you get a vibe there, boy, on the Friday. But let me tell you something. I'm telling you, a man, a fella, Chris, on the Mixed Cloud or something on the thing, he ball Anil. Man stronger than woman. Chris. Chris. Let me tell you something, Chris. Let me hear you make your point. I am telling you my empirical data and evidence and experience with women is that they can take more pain than man. They brighter than man. SEA, they brighter than man. Cape, upper 6, lower 6, exams, medicine, women, law, all women have been taken over for the last 40 years. If woman could bring child into this country, and you could play a sizzler for me, you know. Thank you, mama, because I would tell you at this stage, I would play that sizzler for my mother, one of the strongest, brightest, hardest working human beings to ever hit this earth. All of my teachers were brilliant. The women are excelling, and it takes a real man to understand that. You, I want you to call me and tell me how man stronger than woman. How much man drink Gramazone when they get hot? How much man hang themselves when they go? How much woman just take pressure? They just get sad, they just cry, and they move on and rebuild. Man just crumble. All you don't try that. Man, home today, in this hour, I want you to prove me wrong. I am saying that as a coach, when I put male and female athletes under pressure, 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the evening, an hour and a half in the gym, riding bike for an hour at level 4, holding 80 RPM and pushing themselves to the point of pain. I am telling you that I have observed the females taking more pressure, handling more pressure, while the boys and them crying like little babies. So, if you have different evidence, you could bring it. But for now, and after this song, I will take your call. So all your man, come and defend all yourself. I'm telling all your woman, brighter, sharper, more disciplined, more punctual, could take more pressure and could handle pressure, psychological pressure and physiological pressure. It is a scientific fact, I put
Yes,
it to you all.
yes, yes.
And just, you have the tune ready for me?
Thank you, Mama.
Is it downloaded? Thank you, Mama.
Let's
This
see if
is
we have
last.
it
See
now.
it only spinning there on the YouTube. I want to, yes, man.
All right.
I playing this because my mother, one of the strongest women, one of the best attorneys to ever pass through Trinidad and Tobago Charity Teen Challenge, walking family, never miss a swimming practice. Also, tell me if I want to play football and swim. If I lapse on one, the next one gone. Thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carry me. You 97.5 FM, doubles and coffee. Come in, Corky.
Oh my, oh my. Oh mama don't cry. Gonna keep you by the flow so high. Reaching out to all the mothers in the world. Sometimes it's just the way things are to be, yeah. Thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through. All those pain and suffering. No one knows the pressure you bear, just only you. Give you all my love, oh yeah. Thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through. All those pain and suffering. No one knows the pressure you bear, just only you. It's my words and my tongue. Mama, I will never let you down. I'll never go away. I'll always be around. You know why you do it, such love that you found. I'm always gonna let you wear that crown. Through the roughest of times, you maintain your calm towards your only end, while sheltering me from the storm. And when it's cold, you wrap me in a towel so warm. Oh my, oh my, I'm so glad I was born. Thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through. All those pain and suffering. No one knows the pressure you bear, just only you. Give you all my love, oh yeah. Oh, thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through. All those pain and suffering. No one knows the pressure you bear, just only you. This is my word. I'm gonna make you so proud. Such good son you have. You're the one who teaches me all the good from the bad. Even when the system keeps pressuring my dad, you got high hopes. Thanks be unto the Most High God. Thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through. All those pain and suffering. No one knows the pressure you bear, just only you. Give you all my love, oh yeah. Thank you, Mama, for the 9.
So whoever it is, Chris, I don't know if it's a real name or what it is. I see you say you disagree with me. You say that man stronger than woman. All you call and make all your case. If all you say, I don't make my case. I tell you my life experience and being an Olympic swimming coach, I could tell you that the training elite level athletes, you put the human being under the highest, greatest stresses possible. You push their boundaries mentally and physically. And to tell you the truth, all your men, the boys, I can tell you they crumble under the pressure. And the girls keep going. Some great trainers who could have taken pressure. Kerry Ann Gibbs, Aisha Collymore, Kimberly John Williams. Some of the hardest working young ladies. George Bovell will get into the top 10. And that's George Bovell, Olympic bronze medalist, world championship bronze medalist multiple times, double Pan Am gold medalist, double silver in one championship, world record holder, 4-time NCAA champion. That is George Bovell. He is the only male who will get into the top 10 of ability to take pressure. So Chris or whoever want to disagree, you're welcome to disagree. I want to listen to all your arguments. 218-7762, 218-7762. You can call because never mind, Jayanti said there is hope. There is hope coming. That even though there is darkness that it pervades over this country, in this period of Diwali, we can hope that Kamla Prasad Bisesa and the United National Congress get the support of each and every one of you out there. because you have a choice. You have a choice between the PNM and the UNC. For those of you who try to say they're all the same, it's not true. Kamla Prasad Bisesa has a track record of light, of assistance to poor people, to single mothers, to children, children hospital, education, gate, opportunities, sport, culture. So don't be lazy and say everybody's the same. Keith Rowley is the worst PNM Prime Minister in history. He's worse than Patrick Manning on his 2 occasions. He's worse than George Chambers. He's worse than Eric Williams. He's the worst out of Balize House. So do not even come to contest. He cannot contest even with A&R Robinson. He cannot contest with Bastio Pandey, and he definitely cannot compare or contest Kamla Prasad Bisesa. There is a light coming. You are tuned in. You are tuned in, Cocky. It's Friday, you know.
Yeah,
I want
have a
to
nice
hear
song.
tune, you know. My boy JJ on 96.7 when he playing, he just call it Tuesday. Tuesday on a Tuesday. Well, if you have Tuesday on a Friday, well, playing JJ, I borrow your term Tuesday on a Friday morning on U97.5 FM. Play something to uplift, man. Play. What you play?
I want to
for
play
the
this
people?
song, you know. There used to be a smile on my face. But there's not that smile anymore.
Oh, Lord, Rowley,
You
take
know
your
why?
smile.
Mhm.
Rowley, take your smile.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't worry, you go smile just now. We go get rid of Rowley. Play tune.
My life, there has been many ups and downs, many changes, affairs of the heart. Whoa, I turn it over in my mind. I've been wasting time. I better reconsider that line. Yes, to me you were just like an angel. We fly on the wings of love. There's now only clouds of gray. You used to be the smile on my face. Now that you're gone, there's no longer a trace. Now you know my love, she doesn't live here no more. It's loneliness welcomes me to my door. Yes. In my life, there has been many magic moments as I
All right. I giving all your men exactly 1 minute to make your case, and then I'm moving on to the next topic. Because if you all cannot make the case, then you have accepted and you have acquiesced to my position that women are stronger, they are more disciplined, they are more punctual, they can take more pressure, they are harder working, they don't crumble under extreme stressors, and they produce more per hour than the men. And men have just controlled the system for hundreds of years, and we're still not in a equitable position with regards to gender equality in the workplace and salaries and so on. But if truth be told, women are overall
And they
stronger.
feed their family.
But
too.
I'm telling you, they still need we. It's not that I'm saying we useless. You understand? We don't need honey goat wheat. They still need us. We form a unit. But the woman is the stronger piece. Good morning. Let me all your man defend that. Hello.
Morning. Anil. Hello?
Yeah.
When judiciary officers...
Hold on. Call me back. I'm dealing with, you come to defend, man. We go talk judiciary after.
No, listen to me.
Man, all right, just now, call me back. We did not topic. I go listen to you, but now build up a whole topic, my brother. Oh, God bless. Yes, I am giving the men 1 minute to argue with me and tell me that man stronger, harder, tougher, better, could take more pressure than woman. All your man can't defend. We go talk judiciary just now. We go talk back Rowley just now. We go talk back police service commission. We go talk back that we under pressure and the bandits taking over. We go talk all that. But I see a fella called Chris Holmes say, Anil, you're wrong. Man stronger. Hey, Chris, whoever he is, 218-7762. And any other man you have 35 seconds to call and defend the position. Or then we will just assume that you accept the position. You accept what I have said. You accept. Look, a strong man coming to defend manhood. Come. Hello, good morning.
And then I just called to apologize and surrender that man before you ever going on, I will tell you. This is no argument. Right now, every taxi stand, every part of the country, the taxi stand is full of woman by woman rule. All woman is there, me, you know.
Well said. You see what I tell you? Talk done right there. So we gonna move on to the next topic. Talk done day. Let me move on now. Call back and tell me about the judiciary, my brother. You could call. Let me talk the judiciary. The judiciary is the last bastion of hope for Trinidad and Tobago. I know some of you all would say, Anil, you're naive. The judiciary have political thing in it too. Maybe, but at the least, they are the least corrupted, the least infused. Hello, good morning.
Mr. Anil Roberts, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
This is Mr. Balkaran Prasad. How you doing?
How are you, Mr. Balkaran Prasad?
I good. I just wanted to go back to the topic, but the brother don't call and surrender, so I can't.
No, well, you surrender to use the boss. Let me hear you use a big boss.
I feel there is strength in both sides, man.
All right.
Because I just feel what a woman could handle in life, a man can handle, but I also feel what a man could handle, a woman can handle it.
What? Give me some examples of what woman can handle.
For example, if I take myself, right? I have the stresses of a company, the stresses of natural life, the stresses, and let me tell you, not all people can handle that. Not all, right? So I feel I stronger than some women in that sense.
Right. That might be true.
The woman, I consider the woman very strong when it comes to the economics of the home.
Right.
When it comes to managing the home. You understand?
Only the home.
They're stronger than men in that.
Wait. You have some woman buffing you out there, all of them. Let me listen to them. They in the car, they in Rio Claro, they in Mayaro, they in Labre, they in Tobago, and they just strips at the boss man at the radio station. You only putting woman in home, you come like Scotiabank. Boss man, woman is some of the best CEO.
Let me tell you something. You know, in the beginning of time, man and woman had the positions.
Yes.
They say, but I telling you something. Over time,
yes.
And with the increase of how life has progressed,
yes.
I think it is no longer. My position is at the side of every good man. There is a good woman.
Oh
because
God!
I believe both have strengths and weaknesses and contribute to the success of life.
All right, my brother, I hear you, but I'm still hearing some old-time days. You grew up in the old tradition. I am telling you, there's a new wave, a new world.
No, I agree. There is a new world, and I agree. Women have asserted themselves both in the home, in the business place. But I tell you something.
Yes.
The structure of God still will always take precedence over however we think in this life.
Oh Lord, I ain't going to no. God bless you. Bye-bye. I ain't going into no spiritual thing there. I go call me pundit and me.
I call you on a different forum this morning.
Tell me.
And what I want Trinidad and Tobago to be safe, take care of themselves.
Yes.
Be careful. We living in a real pandemic. But Anil, I want to next week sometime, please God. There's a group of people that's going to come and sit and talk with you.
Yes.
As it relates to this COVID and how they're managing this COVID in this country.
Right.
Everybody who works in Rhythm Communications Network, Balu Engineering, knows that I lost a brother 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
Condolences.
Condolences, my brother.
Yes,
that is very difficult.
I appreciate your support and your gestures and your sympathy.
Yeah, boy.
And I'll tell you something. I do not believe, and I strongly believe, that the health system in this country has gone. Let me tell you, my brother went in with COVID together with the young police officer that died that day as well.
Lord.
Right? The police officer's oxygen was 92. My brother's oxygen was 86 at the time. Right? 2 hours, both persons, within 2 hours after they installed the ventilator on them, both of them died with heart attack, massive heart attacks. Right? I need some answers. In the end of the day, Anil, I know I cannot bring back my brother. God rest his soul. Yes. Nor can the family of the policewoman bring her back. Nor any of the families that lost loved one due to COVID bring them back. But I'm telling you something. In my mind, I am a person accept life. I also accept death, Anil.
Yes.
But it is not resonating well with me.
On what
It is
took
not
place?
resting well with me as this procedure, how they doing this procedure when it comes to giving people the ventilator.
The ventilator.
In my mind, when I heard my brother going on the ventilator, Anil,
You felt
I was
good?
happy.
Yeah.
You know why? Because the ventilator is designed to save life,
Yes.
not take life.
Well, I can tell you something. I promise you that as I finish here at 9, I am going to call Dr. Tim Gopi Singh. And I am going to ask him about this situation, and then I will bring him on next week on the line also. Because I am as worried as you, because I have asthma. And a ventilator to me is something that brings oxygen and would bring life. And if you tell me that your brother was at 92% oxygen intake, and then they put the ventilator, and that he passed 2 hours later, I need some answers. I don't understand that. And I am not intelligent enough to understand. I will ask Tim Gopi Singh.
A couple independent doctors, right? And the assumptions that were made, the assumptions, again I say assumptions that were made, is that the mannerism in which they put in the ventilator on the patients is questionable.
Okay, well, we will ask the expert, and I will get, because there's nobody who know that system better than Tim Gopi Singh. He resume thick like a book. It's like a novel. When I read his resume, the amount of specialism and so on. But accept,
I mean, playing with people's lives is a serious thing. I mean, I lost a brother, and I mean, God rest his soul. And how many other families? Well,
let me tell you something.
And feeling the hurt this morning because of the malpractice and the misuse of the equipment that we have. I remember some weeks ago, Dr. Chattagoon begged the government, listen, guy, let me come in and train the people how to use this thing.
Correct.
He was blanked.
Let me also tell you that I have been wondering and asking, and I have not received the question. Since May 11th, when this Brazilian variant came in, I was noticing that everybody who reached the HDU and the ICU was dying. If you go back and I asking, but how come? I looking at New York and England and France and Australia and South Korea, and people when they go on ventilator, they might stay there for about 30 days, and then they may come out. They may come out in 16 days, 17 days. And I was just noticing, if the number the day reported was 12 in ICU, the next day I see 11 dead. Or 16 in ICU, 14 dead. And I saying, and I even said it on Douglas Politics, I say, but wait now, it's best you don't go in the ICU, because as you reach, I will pull back the clip from you for you all to say, to show on the next Douglas Politics that I said that. So I am very worried by what you are saying.
Let me tell you something. I want the Minister of Health, right? Because let me tell you, this is not politics for me. This is not PNM and UNC for me. This has hit home, and it has hit very close to home. And I want the Minister of Health to explain to the population and to show the population via a video or something who is doing these things, who is installing these ventilators on people's family, who is treating with them. Let me tell you something. My brother died 9:36 in the night, right? And the following morning we got the call.
Lord have mercy.
Right? So while we up praying and while we up wondering
your brother
what is
done
going
dead
on with my
already.
brother, and while we up thanking God for life, and while we up saying, God, you know, my brother is on the ventilator, take care of him, he was already dead.
Lord have mercy.
Right? The police girl, young girl, never even saw her baby that she gave birth to. How is this fair? I agree that we're in a war. I agree that this pandemic has ruined a lot of families. But let me tell you something, Anil. I do not agree with the fact that people who experience handling people's families and causing death, to me, that is murder, you know. To me, that is murder.
Well, my brother, I promise you that I will get some answers, because I had those questions, but now you have driven it home in a personal way that I could have never envisaged. But on behalf of Corky and myself, we say condolences to you and your family. And I promise you that I will get Dr. Tim Gopi Singh on here for at least 50 minutes for him to go into detail about the process, what should happen. Remember, there was also an issue with some of the senior specialists were being moved out and so on. I want to know, because if I could tell you, I had surgery on my knee from football injury, and I get some of the best. I don't want no jokey surgeon. I get Dr. Toby and Dr. Lusang to do my knee, and it come back good.
Yes.
So, and that's just a knee. When you're talking ventilator and life and death in ICU, you want the best of the best. So I promise you that we will get Dr. Tim Gopi Singh on to explain, because I would love to know too.
All right, well, you guys have a blessed day. Have a safe day, Trinidad.
Thanks for calling in.
Well, keep safe. Yeah, bye-bye.
God bless. When the boss man call in, you know that is important, but condolences to him and his family, and to the family of the policewoman, and to condolences to all the people who lost loved ones, 1,574 people who lost loved ones due to COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago.
Condolences as well to Miss Rose McCoon. Yeah,
Passed away already. Condolences to her family. Good morning. Hello.
What's that? Hello?
Hello, morning.
Yes, I just want to support that same view. Condolences to the gentleman and his family and all those who lost their loved ones with regard to the COVID.
Yes.
But I just wanted to offer this as a point of discussion.
Yeah.
With the matter of these independent positions in Trinidad, all you read them across the board, is there a possibility that before these people are appointed to these various positions, that just as the Integrity Commission have a declaration form for their finances and so on, that a system be put in place where they can declare whether they had a particular political preference,
yes,
either by their actions or dealings in the past, so that it does not necessarily prevent them and their qualifications from being used, but that we make a conscious decision knowing that this man is qualified, but declared having a particular position politically.
Well,
is there a facility for something like that?
Well, that is what should take place, my brother. The president should do that in her selection or in her due diligence. She can do anything and inquire anything about everyone. So I don't think that she should just be pulling up names and flinging them out like that. The mere fact that she was able to quickly put up a man Coilas and pull him back next minute shows that she did not go through her office. She has staff. She could get lawyers. She could get investigators. That should be done, and then it should be ventilated in the parliament. But you see, when we ventilated, for example, Rudal Munidal in 2018 said, Bliss Pasad, you have accepted and you are on a PNM board. So how can you come here to be independent? Nobody take them on the PNM. Happy to put PNM in place. So the system becomes corrupted by individuals who are not upholding the system.
So my point is then, Anil, I agree with everything you just said. How then do we make it a matter of law and procedure, taking it out of the what you would call
the political directorate and
not necessarily political, but taking it out of the discretion of the appointers.
Correct.
In other words, it must be that's a criteria that must be met.
Do you know what is sad?
Any person.
You are correct, but you know what is sad? If Noor Hassan Ali was in the president's chair, we would not be having this discussion. So it starts with who you pick as president. If you understand what I'm saying. Noor Hassan Ali was such a fair, independent-minded person who understood his role and would take his time to ensure that he protected, as you are suggesting, the independence of his office and the institutions under his control.
Maybe I might suggest then, moving forward, the UNC and its political directorate and so on, put forward that as a proposal to be put on the, what you call the ballot box.
Right.
For discussion, so that in any upcoming election, that would be form part of the mandate given to whichever party wins, that they must then put something in place to ensure that independence, not simply because we feel the person independent, but legally the person has declared this, I have a particular preference, but I'm given the assurance that I will act and operate independently.
You are brilliant. I agree. It is sad that we need to stretch your mind into that realm. Because what you are saying is that we have to legislate integrity, morality, and accountability, where we thought at the highest level we would not need to do that, because the person who sat in that lofty chair would have had those qualities. But it's very sad that, imagine, I mean, that's a great idea, but I am saying it's sad that you even had to go there, because it shows how far we have fallen. Good morning.
Good morning, Anil.
Morning.
This health thing, if you're putting a man who cleaning a pharmacy shelf to be a minister of health, how you want the system operate?
Well, you preach it to the converted talk, you know, because I agree. That is my point, and that is where politics is not no football game. You see, politics is not red and yellow. I explained to Corky, thank you, my brother. I explained to Corky, when Manchester United win, I just be happy for about an hour. And next morning, I had to go and buy my doubles go up, I had to go in patrol, I had to look on the road, I had to do so. You understand what I'm saying? When you're trying to get sponsors don't have no money, all this kind of thing. Because the economy is bad. Elections have consequences. Elections is not about just no wind down and my side win. Because if you are saying that Kamala Prasad Bisesa was offering you people like Tim Gopi Singh, Fuad Khan, people like Dr. Lakram Bodo, Dr. Rai Ragbir, real doctors to be Minister of Health. She put that on the table, and all you put a convent girl who can't pass her exam, a pharmacological exam, a man who just try to talk with Queen's English to sound bright, but he's really a complete idiot. All you take that and all you dip your finger for that. And he in charge, and he put and choose a man more dotish than he, and put a man who should be doing show in Queen's Hall to run Couva Hospital. And then you understand now the seriousness of those decisions. That, be careful there, you're going to frighten. You understand? So y'all can call. Good morning. Good morning, 218-7762. We have a lovely young lady coming up after all. Just stay on and listen to you 97.5 FM Corky. Make sure they stay and listen, you know.
Yes.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Could you please explain the infamous paragraph that caused the entire problem with the Police Service Commission and the commissioner not being able to take office and so on?
All right.
The judgment, yes.
Thank you, my brother. But go back, if you go back, my brother, go back to the last hour. Go on Douglas Politics, or go on the Mixcloud, or go on Facebook, or go on U97.5 FM. Just go back, slide it back to about 7:14 a.m. and listen to Jayanti Lakshmi Dayal. The essence of it was, just to make it simple, was an order written and drafted by Faris Al-Rawi. And he came there to change the process of the selection, or the process that the Police Service Commission and the Parliament and the President must go through in order to select a Commissioner of Police. And it involves some changes which would have increased the risk of political interference. And when Senator Wade Mark brought up that and said that it does not flow, and it goes ultra vires to the Constitution, Section 123, all the 9 independent, inverted commas, senators voted with the government. The president herself had some angst about it, and it has now been struck down as being contrary to the process and the clause 123.3 of the Constitution, which tried to keep the process as independent as possible. But Jayanti Lakshmi Dayal would explain it. If you want more detailed legal analysis, you can always get it. Read the newspapers today, you will also see it. Hello, good morning. We try to break it down for the normal man and woman to understand. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Anil.
Good morning.
Well, listen, my dear, I'm calling from New York, and I've been listening to you, and I won't lie, I love your program. I don't miss.
Thank you. From
Well,
New
hear
York,
this
you're
now.
singing clear.
But I just pay my phone bill, you know, we just get stimulus something up here, you know.
You see, you all get
So,
stimulus, we don't get nothing down here, we just get lash.
Boy, well, lash and buff.
Yes.
I never see something.
You
like
ever-
that,
you
buff,
think
you
by-
know, the man acting like you for all
Yes.
of them Rowley.
But you feel Biden could buff all your so up there?
Nah, you're mad or what?
Biden can't walk up
Biden-
steps good.
You're mad or what? Biden, listen, politicians out here care about things called voters' opinion, you know.
Right.
You know, we vote people out. You understand
Correct.
what I'm saying?
You
And
see?
it is sad what's going on in Trinidad and Tobago today. I am so, listen, it is embarrassing to say that I'm a Trini. To be honest, all the West Indian countries are now, if you see how they begin up themselves and laughing at Trinidad out here.
Imagine that.
But imagine Jamaicans asking me what's going on in Trinidad. A shame. A shame.
No, I needed to develop that some more because when I was at university and so on, and when we are traveling all over, we used to be the proudest. All them other Caribbean islands used to look up at when the red, white, and black reach. Now them laughing at we.
Boy, right now I passing for Bajan. I's a Bajan.
Yep.
I love me. I'm more.
Yeah.
Understand what
When
going
you
on.
go
I's a
down in the
Bajan.
store, you're talking about, girl, blimey, give me some bread and biscuit, yeah? That's how you're talking now,
Listen,
to pass.
oh God, imagine a market vendor have more common sense than be prime minister.
Hey.
Talk things, not talk things.
That market
You
vendor,
shame,
real
boy.
bright. I shame long time, and I swim for this country, football for this country, and coach for this country. And I shame, I ain't gonna lie.
I didn't, but Anil, I didn't know you were so accomplished. I mean, hats off to you. People just look at you small, but they don't understand you come from greatness.
Girl, well, thank
fast
you.
food and out of place. I want to ask one question about a la rental, a la tight pants, a la kiss man, a la
Mascara. He does wear more mascara and foundation than you in the Senate.
I want to know where can I buy that the polyester that he does wear, because it is not silk. It can
It's
never be
it's
silk.
polyester.
It's poly and ester.
Oh, Lord. You make me choke, girl. Well, thank you for calling all the way from New York. And keep listening. Oh, Lord. Have a great day.
I locked on.
Oh, Lord.
Have a good one.
Enjoy your freedom up there. We on lockdown. I can't go and take a dip in the salt.
Yes, darling.
The
Yes,
only
have a
dip
good
in
one,
the salt I take is when I open the bag of sea salt there and I try to put my finger in it. You understand? Can't even go by the river and eat anything. I have ministers advertising meat on Diwali. Oh Lord, next thing they go advertise pigtail for Eid. These people mad and disrespectful and then trying to pretend like they apologizing, you know. Hey, Corky, it's Friday, you know.
Yeah.
I want an extra tune. Corky, choose a tune. I don't know. You just choose a tune now.
I want to play a mix in a loving memory for all the people who passed on.
Hey. All right, let me calm down then. If you're going into that mood, you take me from let me calm down, because that is a very serious thing.
A serious
so
thing.
we would like to say, have a great weekend.
Yes.
God bless you all. Be safe. Respect each and every one. We are all Trinbagonians.
Yes.
A Douglas had no race. I love my Indian mother. I love my African father. And all I do is read and make sense of policy.
Yeah.
Try to get the race out of here. We are all Trinidadian and Tobagonian. And if we are celebrating Diwali, if you
Yes.
don't understand, read a little book, get a little pamphlet, understand it, respect it, enjoy it. If
Yes.
you're celebrating Christmas or Eid, if you're a Shouter Baptist, respect everybody. Stay calm and live together, unite, and the darkness will be lifted over this country. So to all those who have lost ones for COVID-19, crime, however, accident, pothole, God bless you all. Condolences from the Doubles and Coffee team. Corky, play the tune. Let me hear you.
Corky D is my DJ.
I'm hearing what you say, but I just can't make you sound. You tell me that you need me, then you go and cut me down. But wait, you tell me that you're sorry, didn't think I'd turn around and say that it's too late to apologize. This is the remix. It's too late. Let's go. Walks early down the street, the people went out low. Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the beat. Yeah. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. and another one down, and another one down. Another one bites the dust. Hey, gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust.
This is for my soldiers, real soldiers. Run away, put up your light and feel your friend when we pass away. Run away, no day so today then tomorrow you run away. Run away, yeah. Me feel it for you come it just a reason why. Run away, yeah. Great mix.
Your time here may be gone, but your sweet smiles and